Chris, I need some leadership help here because I feel a bit frayed. Okay, the local teams are falling apart. I can do an hour on each local team, and you've got noise around the local teams that is unusual. Zaz has bombed in with a travel story that I don't know, that Mike Ryan told me is embargoed. Your father is late again. Again, you just got here 4 minutes ago, so you're in no position to lead him and lecture him about late. And we got big shoes to fill. And Jeremy's eager to fill them, and we can't let him. And I want to talk about what happened with the University of Miami because I'm guessing a whole lot of people were laughing all weekend, but also the Dolphins. Where would you start, Zaslow? Where does Zaslow Show 2.0 start today as you have just mutual apocalypses for different reasons because of where the standards have fallen in this town in football?
Dolphins, because I think at any moment Mike McDaniel's going to be fired today. And so you want to talk about the Dolphins before that ends up coming across the news.
Okay, so you're saying that, but I don't like Friday to dictate where the standards are in this town because we got one bad football team and we've got one that wants to win the championship. And just because the other one played earlier, you're running away from what you said last week when you said the standard is so high.
I said it loud.
You said real loud. The standard was so high on undefeated.
Yep, that should be the expectation.
And you won't even start your show there today because you want to fire McDaniel. You want to fire another one of these coaches. We've had how many? Man, we've had this problem down here since Wanstead Greer. You cannot spend 20 years trying to figure out whether you have a good quarterback or not. You can't spend 20 franchise years with Tannehill in this trying to figure out whether you have Jackson Dart or not.
Well, and now it's not just figuring out if you have a good quarterback or not. It's figuring out how to manage having the worst contract in football. I mean, anyone want to dispute that?
Deshaun Watson's is the worst in football.
It's the worst ever.
But it's a bad contract, and Kim Bokamper is saying yesterday that that's the worst quarterback performance he's ever seen.
I heard that too. That's a little much.
Scott Covington started a Monday Night Football game for the Rams like 20 years ago. It was pretty bad.
Definitely Tua's worst game.
Bokamper has been covering this market for 50 years. You've got still those old voices, Jimmy Cephalo and Joe Rose, protecting sort of the covenant, right? Back when the Dolphins mattered in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. See, Zaslow is doing something. Zaslow is going into the bin, old-time sports radio bin, and saying, oh, you always start with the Dolphins. You always start with the Dolphins. And I am here to tell you that over the last 40 years, what has better represented excellence in this market is the University of Miami, such that the standard is when they lose as a 2-touchdown favorite to Louisville, and even though they show you, yeah, that's a good team. Yeah, that's a good team. That's a playoff-worthy team that lost at home when their quarterback throws 4 turnovers. I think Miami's college team is vastly more interesting than its professional one. We're just in rinse repeat on what this professional one does. Like this, we blow out another management team.
Well, we're angrier right now with the Dolphins and the Hurricanes, even though one of them matters a lot more than the other.
It's Louisville.
You think that the starting point on today's show should be Miami? Should be the University of Miami?
And Louisville.
Winners on face off, now the time is here. Mix them up as you're changing on the fly. Hit checks, head tricks are gonna make them cheer. But the ball start to chirp and riding high. Now it's time for action, tonight's gonna burn this bar right up. Slap shot will right the left so nice. Let's go for a breakaway on the chase to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet them at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack, baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
And the defending champion hockey team won't stop losing. And Lionel Messi had a hat trick on Friday as well. A lot going on locally. Greg Cote is late. Greg Cote is not yet here. He will get here when he gets here. Chris Cote managed to get here. 5 minutes to spare. Only 5 minutes.
I mean, I want to defend him, but I want to defend him because traffic. It took me 2 hours to get here today, but still. Just leave a little early.
I'm just wondering how often you tune into any sort of daily programming on television and Stephen A. Smith is late.
There was that one time they showed him like jogging outside the studio in Steeport to get in the building on time. One time.
But I'm just saying, when has your local show ever started? Like, whatever it is you watch daily in sports, when does it ever start and one of the key hosts isn't there?
Get Up has never started with Mike Greenberg late.
Like, just any of them. I'm talking about.
Was that one time with Dan Graziano?
Is there not traffic in any other places?
In New York? No.
Los Angeles?
Nah.
Okay, just here. We have an apocalypse around the professional football team.
7 on the power play. My God, Dan.
Zaslow is correct when he says Mike McDaniel might be fired during the show today because the Browns are terrible and the games in that sport are close. And you can't have Kim Bokamper outside the locker room saying that's the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen when Cleveland has scored 17 points in exactly 17 points or fewer, exactly 11 straight games. And now they're a juggernaut with their third-round quarterback rookie who doesn't even have to throw the ball correctly. He can just hand it off because the Dolphins can't stop anybody.
You remember when Josh Freeman had that start for the Vikings on Monday Night Football? That's the worst quarterbacking performance I've ever seen.
Kim Bokamper has been protecting football in this market for 50 years. Zaslow, when he says emotionally, that's the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen. You last week are saying Tua is now unlikable. After Chris Cote fell in love with him, gazed into his eyes, and couldn't love more how the quarterback was talking. He sounds so confident. And now everything in leadership is broken. Like, it's you. You cannot hang on to anything in leadership because the Flames have swallowed, half a season in, they've swallowed everyone that everyone on this team was paid, banked on. Tyreek Hill, gone. Waddle's obviously not a number one. Like, they're going to ruin A-Chan. He's going to get hurt here because of how they're using him because all they throw is passes to A-Chan because they've just shriveled up into something that's not even interesting anymore.
Dan, Tua got out in front of a crowd of paying customers and yelled, "Show me the money," after he signed a $200 million deal. The team is like 10-14 since he did that. Their offense sucks. And this week, Tua had an all-time loser week.
Yes.
From the end of last game with that post-game press conference where he talks about leadership needs to be better and pointing the fingers at other guys, and then he comes out and has the game he had, fumbles, pick sixes, interceptions in the end zone, getting benched. It was an all-time loser week.
So let's stay here with the Tua conversation because I think we now know Greer and McDaniel, they're not going to be a part of this franchise going forward. So let's not have the redundant conversations we've had about them. You're paying the quarterback a lot of money. He has to figure in the plan somehow, some way, even if those plans are how do we get out from under this contract. But now I think the sample is growing to a point where you realize the answer that we thought he would be, it's not the right answer. Tua's not the guy. And I would say that as bad as his week was under center, this guy over the last 10 days has had a disastrous week, a disastrous time behind the microphone. I have never seen a quarterback throw himself under the bus the way that Tua did. Not only in this clip is he going to highlight how bad his approach is to the game on the field, but he readily admits that he's not being a pro off the field.
Yeah, definitely not happy, not proud of where I'm at with my play, with how I've gone about things this year. I know I got to be a lot better, and I've been better for the Miami Dolphins years past, but this isn't years past. This is this year, right? And just trying to maneuver everything and trying to build a collection of guys to kind of bring along with me, and I got to be able to multitask, if that makes sense. Be able to do that, and while doing that, kind of continue to get the whatever it was last year and the years prior for myself to get going again and get in that flow. Thank you.
All right, first of all, What the hell is he saying?
More rambling stuff. More rambling stuff.
What do any of those words mean?
No. I know people automatically want to go to the concussion stuff. That's just like a troubling clip because it's rambling nonsense.
What are you talking about?
It doesn't sound like bright.
Okay, McDaniel and Tua, when they get out in front of cameras, and I would not blame them if the intoxicants of the last 2 seasons, we're the greatest at offense. We've got it figured out. Everybody's going to get money in Miami. They're 9-2. And at the middle of that story is also the brain does keep getting hit and making us worry. Should they give him that money for health reasons? Never mind that there's still the argument, wait a minute, is he Brock Purdy? Is he a product of system? Or is he actually a good quarterback? We've done the architecture of this team. We know the bet that Greer made. We all fell in love with it at that watch party when they were 9-2 and then lost to Vrabel in Tennessee because, oh, look out, Vrabel's got Drake May now. They're going to be running the division for a while. Like Drake May just had a better quarterback percentage than Brady ever had because they found a quarterback there, and a good organization protects that quarterback.
Speaking of rambling.
The Dolphins have 2 ramblers in McDaniel and Tua, and they're in front of the microphones, and we want explanations for the losing, and they have to say something, and they're not good at say nothing. Just get up there and just keep saying nothing again and again. They say it inefficiently. Their offense is efficient. Their words are not.
So, I mean, I guess in a vacuum, you like the accountability from the position, right? But you're also concerned as to, wait, they're paying you a lot of money. What is it about your off-field prep that you don't like? What you know that there are things that you should be doing to be better, but you're not doing it?
And he didn't realize it apparently last week, because last week it was everyone else's fault, not his.
It is a weird thing to bring up out the blue. You could say, hey, we can be better, whatever. But to specifically call out his off-field prep in that way, in that manner, that's the difference, Mike, between accountability and, wait a second, what the hell's happening here? Right? That's the line. It's accountability is like, I need to be better. What the hell's happening here is like, yeah, man, I don't know what I've been doing. What have you been doing? Now I need to know.
The thing that I thought was just happening there, hold on a second.
Stinks.
Okay. All I thought was happening there is, oh, now he's going to crucify himself because he was bad leader last week. Everyone turned on him last week. McDaniel said out loud, this is a distraction. This isn't leadership. So now I'm going to go out there and I'm going to crucify myself after a bad game. He's the first 3-interception quarterback the Dolphins have had in consecutive games since Marino. He's supposed to be maximum accurate. He looked panicked yesterday. Like that. And look, I'd be panicked too if Myles Garrett was chasing me and I didn't have an offensive line. Like, they can't run the ball. They're terrible. They can't stop the run. Every running back in the league will run for 100 yards against them.
I like where you're going. That what we saw from Tua just then is an overcorrection from last week.
Wasn't that obvious?
I don't know. I don't. He confuses me every time he talks.
Yeah,
I don't. And this isn't a concussion thing. I don't want to go there. He's not a super captivating speaker. Like, he doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well,
everybody after a loss like that wants a Tim Tebow, no one's going to try harder than me speech. And this is just more loser talk from a guy. When he speaks, you're like, oh, you're never going to figure it out.
Loser talk.
Yeah, I don't trust you to figure it out.
But okay, and I get that. But you know why he's never going to figure it out? Because they just lost 31-6 to the terrible Cleveland Browns.
That's right. Because he's not a good football player.
But nobody would be under these circumstances.
What are the circumstances? He's got talent. What do you mean? Nobody would be. I see plenty of quarterbacks play well.
Hold on. I have a question. You said he's not a good football player. Then what was 3 years ago?
Oh, he's not that guy anymore.
He's not that guy.
He's not that guy anymore.
Because
3 years ago, but 3 years, guys, 3 years ago, they were the number 1 offense and passing offense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always concussions. It's not. Carson Wentz got some injuries, but he just the league figured you out. Like, there's plenty of guys that get to that second contract. League figures you out.
Like, I don't think that I've been a Tua guy since day one before this season. Like, the Indianapolis game that opened this year, to me, I fingered as the moment that I think all of us realize this is not the guy. But nonetheless, I've been a Tua guy every season going up to this year. And I don't think that I was wrong about him in the past. That guy was a good quarterback. He's not the guy because for whatever reason, he's regressed. This
can't-
quarterback is
okay.
washed.
It's not your fault.
Dan, you love this. This
He
is
was right in the moment.
This is the Stephen A. Smith.
asinine. What Zaz is doing right now is
I was right.
I feel
Right twice.
I feel like I'm concussed by the last 3 years of our Tua coverage that includes Mike being able to diagnose the gradation of degrees in the brain chemistry between why Wentz can do it and Tua can't. Okay, I'm not scientist enough to know whether Tua is more brain injured than everyone else in the league. The quarterback that presently plays for the Miami Dolphins resembles in no way the quarterback that was the number one passer in that sport 3 years ago.
It's not. It's unfair to just because I was able to come up with Wentz's name. Kyler Murray looked a lot different his rookie season. The league figures some guys out. Hell, Daniel Jones has come out the other side. He had to adjust to it. In fact, Baker Mayfield too. The league is full of guys that at certain points were like, this guy's done as a starting quarterback. He can probably pull himself out of it, but there's a lot of guys that end up being Blake Bortles that don't.
But doesn't that prove my point that it's like, I don't know if we can say he's not a good football player. He is a good football player. Rather, the surrounding context of what he's playing under, right? Is it him or is it Mike McDaniel, who we haven't mentioned yet, and his post-game presser, because he sounds like he's had concussions.
I want to apologize to Brian Flores.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Why?
You were right about Tua. You see, you're doing what he said about Tua a couple years ago. He was right.
No, I don't agree with that. People want to take that track that Flores was right about Tua. You're not right about Tua if the team invests a number 5 overall pick in the quarterback, whoever it is, and you don't even give him a chance. That's where Flores was wrong. You got to at least give him a chance. So Flores was not right. No, I don't agree with that.
Well, let's bring it back to Mike McDaniel because this is like the third straight week we're all sitting by our phones waiting for the Schefter notification that probably won't come.
Not happening.
You think it'll be Schefter? Yeah. You think it'll be Schefter?
It might be.
Rappaport, plus 500.
Why don't you let it play out, guys? It's bad right now. What do you want? You want him to go? You want him to win 3 in a row? No. At this point, let's lose. Let him.
You
sit.
don't want any changes?
No. Let's it. This season's done. Let him stay.
Chris,
let's be as bad as we can be.
Chris, but here's the fear. What if they win 3 in a row with him as coach?
I don't know.
He's gone regardless.
Does this sound like a guy? Let's play the video. Does this sound like a guy that is going to rattle off a win streak?
There's a lot of guys that will have an important work week because we're not. I mean, if you are negatively affecting the football team routinely, I don't have a choice but to, assess a different player, and I have to coach a lot better as well. So we need. We're going to find out who and what we're made of.
That's him saying he's going to bench Tua, right?
That anyone's benchable. I did the optics of this from Mike McDaniel swaggering on the Heat sideline in Miami Vice fashion gear to yesterday looking like a wet rat, overwhelmed, like just optically overwhelmed, looking at a play sheet that had no answers.
Look at that face.
But you guys saw what I'm talking about, right? The optics of he's the one coach in the league yesterday who is being beaten down by the weather and looks like he is, a wet mop of defeat, looking at a soaked play card that has no answers because he's losing 31-6. All the games in that league are close. Did you see what the Broncos and Giants did? Like all the games in that league are close. Yesterday's 1 p.m. games, they say going into the witching hour, and only 2-score games here, and everyone's surprised by it. And then it becomes, there are 1-score games here. The Dolphins would have no answers. Their coach is sopping wet on the sidelines. Their quarterback has to come out afterward and just sort of say things because he's the leader so he doesn't make another fire worse than the last fire, because neither one of these two guys figured out how to do a press conference that was just give them the cliches. Just because when losing comes, you're not going to be able to lead because this will bury everyone.
Isn't it hilarious that we're basically asking for Dan Campbell? Like, that's all. Just say some cliches and act tough in this moment.
He was here. We ran him out of town.
Because he was 2 cliches.
He won 4 games, and he became an interim coach who could lead somebody. And then that's what happened. We mocked Man Campbell. We always get to be right on these. Zaslow's sitting here as if he's been right. We've been arguing about the Tua assessment for 3 years the way that we argued about the Tannehill assessment for 7 years. No one's been right. They haven't had a quarterback. Like, No one here in this town who has thought in the last 25 years that have had a quarterback, they've not had a quarterback. Not Jay Cutler, not Cleo Lemon, not Jay Fiedler. It's been 20 years of no, they don't have the primetime guy. That was Marino. They don't get to have that anymore. And then they don't win a playoff game for 25 years.
That 1 year of Pennington was good. He was good. Pennington was good.
He was top 5 MVP voting. The best 25 years, in the last 25 years after Marino, the best quarterback this town has had is Chad Pennington, and the 1 year Tua had. The 1 year. That wasn't a mirage.
We'll always have that 1 year.
What was that? Like Mike's sitting here saying, and the league caught up. And I'm sitting here saying, I'm not a scientist enough to know whether his brain is the same as it was. But the offense surely isn't. They've gone from, they were the best in the league and could throw on anybody, and now they get 6 points in Cleveland, and it's a miracle last week that they scored 27 against the Chargers.
This is not abnormal. If you give me 10 minutes to take pen to paper over the last 20 years and give you a quarterback that had all year, and then most people decided that quarterback's not starting caliber in the NFL.
Throw out some names.
Like, let me put pen to paper.
Pen to paper.
It just happens all the time.
Daniel Jones had that, but now he's back again.
It happens all the time. You are not a special little snowflake. You're not unique. You're running into the same problems that every franchise does when it tries to nail the franchise quarterback but falls short.
As a Giants fan, I can say Daniel Jones was never as good as Tua was that 1 year.
Like, he got paid. He brought him to the playoffs.
No, he got paid. Everyone was like, why are we paying this dude? Everyone was like, he's an okay quarterback as a Giant. Like, what's happening this year, this is shocking to me. But there was never a point where I felt about Daniel Jones the way I feel about Jackson Dart.
Jared Goff made it to a Super Bowl and was basically thrown into a deal to make salaries work, and he was just going to hold it down, and they even drafted potential replacements to push Jared Goff, and then he figured it out.
He went to a Super Bowl, but no one really felt that confident about him going to the Super Bowl. Like, they went to the Super Bowl because the team was great, because what's my man, the running back was incredible.
Yeah, Gurley. But remember the year before, he's out dueling Patrick Mahomes on Monday Night Football in the catch versus mustard game.
Guys, there's so much that happened yesterday, because if I said to you guys right now, hey, Stafford's my quarterback and I trade him back to the Lions, they're the league favorite, right? If I trade Stafford back to the Lions, just like that, a player who left the Lions because the franchise made 2 of its previous best players quit, Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders. Matthew Stafford goes elsewhere, becomes the quarterback. Everyone now fears no one wants to play that team in the playoffs because they're so precise. Like, this is an interesting conversation. I'd be curious if you guys want to have it, because McDaniel and Tua are going to get swallowed. They're going to get swallowed by, this is what leadership requires, right? When you're 1-5, if you're leading, Greg, do you know a lot of other programs in America, like First Take? Have you ever seen someone walk in 25 minutes late to First Take? Like, just any other daily program that people watch?
I don't monitor them. Sorry.
He was being quiet.
I was. Thank you. I thought I was.
Daz, do you have any thoughts here on just Cody's?
You know my thoughts. What was preventing you from leaving 20 minutes? Let's start here, actually, because I scolded you about this a couple weeks ago. Have you adjusted your morning schedule at all since my, suggestion to leave a little bit earlier?
I leave plenty early enough.
No, that was my question.
I would say by
have you
definition.
adjusted your schedule at all?
No.
Do you think you're that important, though? Like, the local hour, a lot of people are listening. Like, we're a big podcast in Miami.
I heard that.
And a lot of people want your thoughts on, as the Dolphin columnist, who is a month late to this particular fire, by the way, because now Greg Cote, a month late, is writing in his column from today's Miami Herald. I would not be surprised if the Miami Dolphins fired head coach Mike McDaniel very soon, and I would not argue that it was too soon.
Right.
At one point, late in the game, a CBS announcer, this is a bad look for the Miami Dolphins. You think? This was an avalanche of ineptitude failure of the worst kind. Something needs to change. It might be the head coach. Lukewarm, a month late. It might be the head coach.
First of all, I wasn't a month late based on my own opinion. I'm allowed to have my opinion when I have it.
Facts.
Okay? I don't knee-jerk like other people do.
Mm-hmm.
When I think that I have finally seen a game that may have tipped the scales And if I'm Stephen Ross right now for the first time all season, I'm thinking to myself, and he may be, I need to make a coaching change. Okay, I didn't feel like that a month ago. And so I said it, I wrote it when I thought it was legitimate.
Late like you were today.
Dan,
I was late today. I was not late on my opinion. You can't tell me when I'm late on my effing opinion.
Got him.
I can tell you. I can tell you that.
No, you can't, because it's my opinion. I own it.
Shows aren't scheduled on opinions. Was that your computer?
That was Greg's computer coming in ill-prepared.
Look, Dan.
You're pushing it right now.
In Greg, Dan.
Fair.
In Greg's defense,
Go on.
no one would notice he wasn't here if you made a big deal about it, right? You could have just done the show, and then we could have just assumed that Greg was silent this whole time, and now he's chiming in 19 minutes in.
Yes.
But you decided to make that a central theme to this show. Shame on you, Dan Le Batard.
Yes.
And shame on Zaslow.
Shame on you.
The Iago parrot on your shoulder.
Yes, the
Shame
parrot.
on you.
The parrot. Thank you, Billy, by the way. Listen, you're both. I have a right to my opinion when I have it, okay? All right? You guys are not a columnist for the Miami Herald, okay? Your opinions are spewed into microphones.
Dan could still be, right, if he wanted.
I'm still a Miami Herald columnist.
Are you?
I mean,
When was
He's
your
been
last-
late to work
when-
for the last 10 years.
What year was your last column?
I'm going to say 3-4 years ago.
I think it was longer than that. Yeah, you're a Miami Herald columnist like Luther Evans and Edwin Pope.
I mean,
R.I.P.
they've been dead
Yes.
for many years.
I know they have.
So he's a columnist like dead people?
Yes, because he doesn't write. You're not a columnist if you
All
write
right, so
once
your
every 8 years.
opinion matters more than our opinion because you're still a columnist, even though your opinion is a month late,
No, it isn't.
has been wrong for a month.
No, it hasn't.
You've been as wrong as anyone could possibly be about this Dolphins football team and its leadership.
You couldn't be more wrong.
An opinion can be late. Like if you showed up today and you said the Dolphins are a bad football team and you're saying that for the first time this season, that opinion's really late.
Okay, I'm not saying that. They've been bad for a long time. Okay, they keep reaching new lows. It was a new low the way they opened the season at Indy. It was a new low when they blew a 17-point lead to Carolina. It was a new low when they managed to lose to the Chargers by not protecting a lead with 46 seconds left. It was a new low again yesterday. The lows add up, and they make me, a reasonable columnist, say now is the time. If you want to make a coaching change, you make it now. Okay? You can disagree with that, but it's my opinion.
My last column was in October of 2022 about Tua. Am I still a Miami Herald columnist? Ooh, we got a judge here and a journalist.
Please.
Yeah, that's a good question.
3 years is a long time, Dan.
Yes. Am I still a Miami Herald
Okay,
columnist?
I need a little bit of evidence, and the evidence that I would like to have before me is if you put in the search bar at theherald.com the name Dan Le Batard, does his name come up?
As a Miami Herald columnist?
I need some evidence.
Clickbait, yes, it does.
Okay, so forgive me for this. I don't know when the expiration date. I have not officially retired from the Miami Herald.
Really?
So while I have not written in
Are you
3
columnist
years,
emeritus?
I don't think.
You're paid by the column, right? Like if you say, I want to write a column on such and such, they'll say, all right, I'll give you $200. Go ahead.
I would say the Miami Herald probably hasn't paid me, and so this is bad evidence on my part. I'm incriminating myself. I'm like Tua and McDaniel talking too much. The Miami Herald probably hasn't paid me in 10 years.
Okay, welcome to the club.
I've never heard anyone be dismissed. Just put it in the Sueys. Best dismissal. The laugh that Greg Cote did. He just, it was such a get the
But
F
do you
out
have
of
to
here.
be Herald emeritus? Do you have to be dead? Like
No.
I would think I am Miami Herald emeritus. Would I not? I have not earned that.
Yeah, emeritus is alive. You're always the guy, even though you're not active. That's emeritus.
Right.
So you don't think I could write right now for the Miami Herald if I wanted to?
Yes, but you quit writing. When you write once every 5 years,
3 years.
you're not a writer.
Have you quit writing?
I have not.
There it is.
Okay.
All right, so he's the judge and the journalist and the lawyer.
I'm about to make my ruling.
All
I've
right,
heard enough,
do
actually.
you have imaging? Do you have imaging? Yes?
All rise. The Honorable Jonathan Zaslow now presiding with prejudice.
The case before me, whether or not Dan Le Batard is still a columnist for the Miami Herald. My ruling, Yes, he is.
Oh,
With prejudice, Greg Cody.
Yeah, with prejudice indeed.
thank you, emeritus.
Very prejudiced.
With prejudice has never been more aptly put.
I don't think I've ever fired a coach in this market. I think there was just one time that I said Don Shula should be replaced. He never forgave me, and it was because Jimmy Johnson was available. My opinion on this, as Miami Herald columnist emeritus, as ruled by Jonathan Zaslow, is that you just suffer it out with these guys with the knowledge that you are going to make a leadership change no matter what happens the rest of the season.
Well, but how much does it play a factor that you want to show the fan base that you're willing to make big changes?
Okay, so those are optics, and you could whatever the best management move is to, hey, yeah, we're going to fire them, but they're going to stick around for a couple of weeks because it can't get any worse than that. We need them to lead the shit show the rest of the way here, but we're gonna bring in a leadership change shortly. Like whatever, it doesn't matter whether you fire them today or 4 weeks from now. They failed. Like it's an abject, embarrassing failure. The wheels have fallen off, and what will get swallowed is their architecture, their money, and their quarterback, and it's all gone. Like Bradley Chubb, they were all in, man. They were all in piece by piece on we're going to get a pass rusher and Bradley Chubb. And now you see what the Patriots are, what the Bills are. Everyone here must go. It's been obvious since before the season when they went into the season with no corners. You were late to that opinion.
Okay, when you say everybody must go, Bradley Chubb's had a good season. Jordan Brooks leads the NFL in tackles. Devon Achane is a very good running back for the future. He's played very well.
If they don't kill him.
I haven't given up on Jalen Waddle.
One catch yesterday.
They have pieces. Yeah, and they threw to him like twice.
I mean, look, that's not a number one receiver, okay? It can be said.
I agree.
Oh, but I mean,
he's a number two.
He was drafted.
He's playing like number two.
He was drafted to be a star. Like A.J. Brown.
I appreciated that.
A.J. Brown.
It's a poop joke.
A poop joke.
I got it.
That's right.
A.J. Brown won yesterday's Eagles game because Brian Flores now gets to be right. The Eagles, that game's decided because a very good red zone team, 6 times the Vikings go into the red zone, 5 times they kick field goals.
Brian Flores found a way to stop the tush push.
You saw what he did?
He invented something. This is what we wanted. Advance the game. Don't just outlaw something because it's hard to defend. Invent something.
I think the next move is you stack them on top of each other.
That's a great idea.
They lay on top of each other.
Hold on. We will get to because there was some fun stuff yesterday. We're not even halfway through the football season.
Wait, we're still throwing dirt on the Dolphins, though. I took 10 minutes to put pen to paper. All right. To show you that you are not a special, unique snowflake, that this happens. Dan mentioned they went all in. Plenty of teams go all in. There's a problem with going all in. You could lose the hand and lose everything. Yeah, and on your way out, you can say goodbye to Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, and Baker Mayfield because plenty of teams go all in and fail. But in the last 27 years, I established a criteria. You either had to make a Pro Bowl, get to your second contract under the new rookie wage scale, be among the league leaders in passing, or take your team to a Super Bowl. Here is a list of quarterbacks that had their fan bases swearing that they found the answer at the position.
Your criteria changes greatly what we were talking about. We were talking about
what he was among the league leaders. He made it to the playoffs. He made it to a second contract. Outside of making it to a Super Bowl, he fits like damn near every one of those criteria.
It's not about him fitting those criteria. It's about what we're talking about. Tua is this idea that this is the guy, and some of those criteria that you named, like for instance, getting your second contract. It's not that this is the guy. It's just like this is the guy for right now.
Well,
that wasn't the feeling around Tua that this is the guy for right now.
The Raiders thought they had the guy in Derek Carr.
Okay.
They thought they had the guy.
Okay.
And after a year after giving him a huge contract extension because they found the guy on the rookie wage scale contract, and this is what you do. We had value at the position. We got to move on. Derek Carr gets benched the following year after signing a big-time contract. Not the guy. Derek Anderson for Cleveland.
No.
We've been searching for a quarterback. The guy makes a Pro Bowl, and this was before Tyler Huntley could make it to the Pro Bowl. No, not the guy. Josh Freeman, rookie. No. We nailed it. Among the league leaders in passing. We nailed that position. We nailed that pick. Nope, you didn't. Colin Kaepernick took his team to a Super Bowl.
Okay, that's a different story there.
He wasn't that good.
Whoa.
Blake Bortles. Mitch Trubisky made it to a Pro Bowl.
No.
Yes, he did.
I know
Carson
he
Wentz
did.
was an MVP leading candidate. Mac Jones took his team to the playoffs his rookie season for New England. No drop off here. Bill Belichick keeps everything moving. Vince Young, Jameis Winston, you are not special. Tua is just the latest in a long line.
Let the record show he took marker to paper, not pen.
There you go. Mac Jones doing pretty well for San Fran, by the way.
All right, let's. We haven't even gotten to the University of Miami yet, but I halfway through a season I really did think was done a month ago. I've also done this to the Carolina Panthers, and they're 4-3, and their season is still done.
You're very premature, by the way, writing teams off. That's like your thing. You want to be first in line, so you sometimes make a ridiculous statement.
No, the Dolphins.
By the way, the Chiefs are doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, well, that one. Yeah, well, so I'm gonna have to eat that one. That's. I should go ahead and concede.
Gladly.
I could go ahead and bend the knee now.
Eat that shit.
Did Greg run out of breath on a 6-word sentence?
Pretty wild.
Did I?
Yeah, well, he's come
Mac
in.
Jones
He's come in hot because of traffic. He's late. He thinks he's so good at the game that he can just show up and be fiddling with his equipment while also giving an opinion.
He said putting words in Greg's mouth as usual. I didn't say that I was so good that I can afford to show up late. Traffic said that. Why don't you call the mayor of Miami and ask him why he has the worst traffic in America? Why, when school is out and traffic should be light, it took me more than 2 hours to get to work today? Why call the mayor right now? He's the one who's got to explain, not me. If you think I'm going to start leaving my house at 6:15 in the morning to get here at 9, it ain't going to happen. Paragraph.
This is an unfair shot of an empty roadway right outside our studio.
It does fall under Miami's jurisdiction, whereas much of the traffic that Greg encountered, I think, was outside of county lines.
And yin yang.
So your excuse. I just want to be clear. I wonder how many other employees in Miami are getting to work late, and then their reaction is, bleep off, call the mayor.
I'm blaming the mayor.
I just like how if you're scolding Dan that if you believe I'm going to leave at a time to get to my work on time,
right,
you're nuts. That was the crux
really?
of your argument.
Yeah. So you don't have to draw a line then. Okay. In other words, if necessary, you would leave your house at 5 a.m. to get here at 3.
If that means that I have to get to work on time, I have to do it. Yes.
No, you don't. You draw the line.
You literally do.
You take a stand. I take a stand. And by the way, who appointed you judge and jury?
Yeah.
How did that bit happen?
This isn't about me.
No,
okay?
no. Let me know. How did you become the judge?
Because everybody knows I'm good at judging things.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we know this.
Everyone
Really?
knows.
And he's a journalist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Who appointed that?
Okay.
I got a degree from the University of Florida. That's who appointed it.
Yeah, you did. Journalist. What's that Panthers shirt say?
Florida Panthers, that's my squad.
Oh, wow.
Reigning
Okay,
champs.
sure.
I love them.
Yeah.
0 for 7 on the power play.
Impartial journalist. Anyway, where were we?
We've got to get to the University of Miami because we've been derailed in just Dolphin talk. But I do believe that the things going on in Miami that I do believe that we have a number of things in Miami going on that rival some of the other things going on. Maybe not that Denver Giants game because that was batshit crazy.
Damn.
The end of your NFL Sunday was an insanity against all odds. I ask you, please, somebody look this up for me. What the hell would be the betting odds on team gets held scoreless for 3 quarters because the Giants do something very correctly and then scores 33 points in the 4th quarter? What are the odds against whatever the hell happened at the end of that game?
Yeah, bad teams find a way to lose. We've seen that in Miami. We saw it with the Giants. It just happens. I can't remember the last time any team, scored 33 points in a quarter.
I will try my best to quantify this. NFL teams had won 1,602 consecutive games when leading by 18-plus points with 6 minutes or less to play in the 4th quarter.
At one point in that game, the Broncos were 60-1 to win money line. You could have got them at plus 6,000.
If you led in the last 6 minutes by 18-plus points, NFL teams had won 1,602 straight games.
Courtesy of Steve Martin, that stats bureau that he runs is incredible.
The Giants led 26-8 with 6 minutes left.
I mean, granted, they did miss an extra point. It should have been
Two.
OT, whatever. Yeah. So it was tough luck. But still, when Brian Daboll gets fired, and it's a when, not an if, he will look back on a game like this as like, wow, here, give me that nail. Give me a hammer. Where's my coffin? And then he pounds it
all
in.
the games are close. All the other teams are interesting. The Dolphins are only interesting because everyone in the league is looking at them and the Jets and saying that's how it all falls apart. That Garrett Wilson goes out, and that's how bad organizations fall apart after the Patriots dynasties have been running this division for 20 years before Josh Allen took it.
Right, like my father asked me. My father came over to watch the game with me, and it's like, what's the next move for this team? What's the outlook? I was like, there's no outlook right now. Like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel right now. And that's why, like, Brian Daboll, I don't think he's going to get fired because Jackson Dart improving throughout the season is by far more important than them winning games. And Jackson Dart looks kind of good. Like, I don't think that's the light at the end of that tunnel.
But Jackson Dart now infuses hope and value at quarterback and personality, and that's how the Giants swing a losing season into an interesting season.
Right.
As the Broncos are two field goals from being unbeaten, and we know the Colts are good. Like the Colts have now announced themselves as, no, this can be trusted. We are good. We are a precise thing led by a quarterback who's going to play precisely.
But as we all know, Jackson Dart playing 2 or 3 good games in a row does not mean he's going to be a really good quarterback. But
there's hope.
That's sort of the point Mike was making.
We're not avoiding the Canes conversation. We're going to have the Canes conversation.
I don't want to have the Canes conversation whatsoever. We are not doing that. We are not doing that.
No.
The press box has changed.
But Mike said it best. The press box has changed. I mean, seriously, get over yourself. We're going to talk during the post game. Tim Reynolds, enough. I mean, enough.
I mean,
seriously.
you just got to know when
You're
the
not allowed to cheer in the press box. Did you know that?
Well, I did.
They were cheering for Will Manso. I think that's allowed.
And Goldie.
If the Dan Le Batard Show comes to a hockey press box, hilarity is going to ensue.
Yeah.
They're going to yell at Will Manso for 7 minutes, and you're probably going to have to go to a stairwell to write, man. Like, it's just...
if it was 7 minutes, I'd get it. It was
is what
7
it is.
seconds.
Exactly. I mean, David, everyone else was saying hi. They were enjoying the show. They were laughing at us. But one guy is still clutching on to his newspaper deadline.
I'm a little
and it's
disappointed.
Tim Reynolds.
And is he your demographics, too?
I don't know.
I happen to like Tim a lot, and
Enough of him.
I imagine this was going to be like E.J. Raddick or something, but that's just a bad look for Tim Reynolds.
Listen, I went up to him afterwards.
This was the best part. Stugotz
Yes.
is like, I've known Tim for years. I'm going to go fix this. He walked to Tim and walked right back very quickly.
Yep.
It was a very quick interaction.
Well, he was writing. Okay?
He's on deadline. It's
enough of the deadline.
It's a work.
We're on deadline, too. I gotta get home. I feel like playing hockey. I gotta get home. I mean,
Yeah, we're on deadline, too. We got to get that post game out.
It is a working press box. Tim Reynolds is a journalist who's trying to write, and Stugotz is back there. Hey, Will Manso!
that was Chris and Goldie. Don't leave out Goldie.
We're on deadline, too. They're going to kick us out of that press box a lot sooner than they'll kick out Tim Reynolds, who's just typing away. That's just
Those writers had their game stories done before the end of the game.
Precisely.
Yeah, a good writer, right?
Oh,
What happened there? I apologize to him. I've known Tim for decades. I mean, Cody was done. He was out of there. I mean, you know.
What was that interaction like, Stugotz? Take us behind the scenes. You walk up to him, you say what, he says what.
I said, Tim, I apologize. That's on me. I should know better. Not Chris, okay? I should know better. I've been in press boxes before. I know you have a deadline. I apologize. And he said, that's fine. Just, try to keep it down.
That is way too long.
That was
Way
much
too
longer
long.
than the actual
He's on
conversation.
deadline.
I always extend it a little bit.
Can
I mean, you guys know
we
that.
call Tim Reynolds and just ask him about what the
Don't,
interaction was like?
no.
Greg Cody's Back in My Day. Seeds.
Seeds. Seeds. Had a slice of watermelon lately? Popped a few grapes in your maw? Then you probably notice seeds are disappearing from fruit. And you probably see this as a good thing just because it makes life a little easier. We love us some convenience. In fact, it's a terrible thing, the de-seeding of us. Symbolically alone, the seed is the king of life. Adam gave his to Eve, and here we are, if you believe the story. If they take the seed out of humans the way we have watermelons, we're all dead ducks. Beans, peas, rice, coffee, corn, all seeds. Flour and oil started as seeds. All hail seeds. So what the hell is happening? In exchange for convenience, we are not valuing the seed's impact on health, biodiversity, and our food system. The genetic variability of most plants require seeds as essential to their evolution. De-seeded, artificially homogenized fruits rely on human intervention in the reproductive process, exposing the fruits to many pathogens. Plainly put, seedless fruits are not as good for you. They contain less fiber and have fewer minerals and vitamins than their seeded natural brethren. Seedless fruits also have fewer antioxidants, plant-based nutrients, and anti-inflammatory properties. But enough about this science. Bring back seeds because seeds are fun. Not to mention aesthetically and visually pleasing. Kids growing up today have sliced open a watermelon, have never sliced open a watermelon, and experienced the joy of seeing that juicy red flesh dotted with embedded black seeds. Nellie Doogie used to tell us if we swallowed a watermelon seed, a big melon would grow on our belly. This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Greg has come in hot, and Zaslow has now been witness to it in the privacy of this sacred room right here. We've had some sparks. Cody is mad. Chris, you didn't tell me your father was mad about something that happened on the show last week. You did not inform me. Your father was hurt by something, and it just spilled out into this room, and Zaslow was just witness to it. And as judge, juror, and journalist, good judger, you would say what about what you just saw between me and Greg Cody?
I would say there's a lot of pent-up frustration. Maybe even anger.
What show are we
Greg.
talking about here?
Fair.
Like, is he mad at me from the Greg Cody show? Mad at
No, he's
us
mad at Dan.
About last week's show.
He's
Okay.
mad at Dan,
Yeah.
but I think Dan thinks that maybe you should have tipped him off that your father's upset.
I actually, on my latest podcast, which dropped this morning, Monday morning, I actually make reference to that fleetingly because we do a little bit of our own tribute to Billy Gill, and I mentioned why I appreciated Billy so much, and one of the reasons was I get beat up on this show oftentimes unfairly just for the sake of a joke, and that happened last week when I was, like, in his mind, I was a few minutes late breaking the story on Billy leaving, even though the story posted a few minutes before
9:03.
Well, it posted on 8:58, and I have the proof. But
Show starts at 8:55.
this guy referred to me on the air twice. He repeated it as a fool.
He didn't like that. That's right.
He said, "Chris, your dad is a fool," and he repeated that. I'm not a fool. I don't appreciate being called that, even if it's for the sake of a joke. And I try not to get on you. Like a few minutes ago, you repeated that 1,600 streak, almost as if Mike hadn't said the same stat seconds ago, seconds earlier.
Steve Martin, yeah.
So what the hell are you doing? Are you not paying attention to your own show? I could get on you more than I do.
Would a fool not pay attention?
I have civility. A fool might not pay attention.
Dan,
That's correct.
Dan, you broke the golden rule that you taught me years and years ago. Criticize the action, not the actor. Exhibits the behavior of a fool, not calling him a fool.
Thank you, Billy.
When you were talking about scandal, I thought you were talking about on the Greg Cody show because there is a PFPI scandal people need to tune in for.
Okay. The
Don't-
Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. He's hot. Look, everybody knows that I love him, and sometimes I take it too far. And around the thing that made me laugh in the bakery here was him screaming at me some form of, I was wrong about my opinion. I was late by my opinion by 4 weeks. I was late to my own opinion.
Right.
You were.
No, I wasn't. No, because in this case, my opinion was it may be time to make a coaching change. I didn't think that a month ago.
Right.
Maybe you did.
Right.
I didn't.
But if everybody was ahead of you and you're now here, you can't acknowledge.
That makes you late.
I'm late to this party. I now acknowledge what a lot of people were acknowledging a month ago. Like, this is pretty obvious.
Okay, I'm the only one who's a caretaker of my own opinion.
Okay.
By the way, Le Batard,
Oh, no.
this is not a bakery. Quit referring to your show in this studio as a bakery. The hell are you doing? Give me a
Bakery maker.
turnover. Like Tua said yesterday, give me a turnover.
3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them.
3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Again, first since Marino to have multiple 3-interception games when the Flames are climbing highest. Like, this is how leadership gets swallowed. I don't want to talk about the Dolphins anymore.
Yeah, you do.
Well, you don't have to because Ian Rappaport has come out with the scoop.
What do you say?
No changes expected for the Miami Dolphins.
Hello.
There you go. Stephen Ross moving like a snail, a human tortoise.
So
I
he's
get
late.
it, though.
He's late to his opinion.
No, he's the only one whose opinion matters, but I can have a comment on it if I choose.
Where do you have them ranked now? You had them 15th at the beginning of the season.
Right now,
Dolphins.
they would probably be in the 28 to 30 range.
You think there could potentially be 4 teams better than the Dolphins right now?
There's a lot
Worse,
of bad,
I mean?
there's a lot of bad teams. There's a lot of disparity in the NFL right now, and yeah, there are 5 or 6 teams that are really, really bad. The Dolphins among them, but not at the bottom of the line.
There's a theory back here that Mike McDaniel perhaps has the greatest job security of all, because the Dolphins are in the middle of a lawsuit, right, about firing a black coach because he's black,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
right.
you can't fire 2 black coaches in a row. That's even worse.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, I'm just saying, Zaz, if you're in a lawsuit, you're not going to do stuff that kind of confirms the
The
lawsuit.
general manager is black, too.
Can't fire him either.
Well, I have heard that theory about the lawsuit, Brian Flores' lawsuit, being involved in the machinations that are going on right now. And one of them is that if you fire Chris Greer, all of a sudden maybe he turns against you in a trial, in a lawsuit. So
Oh, wow, that's juicy.
there's a lot going on.
I mean, that's,
I wonder if they're hiring.
But I hadn't even considered that. That's juicy, though. The idea that Stephen Ross couldn't and wouldn't make a change is not because he's not frustrated. It's not because he hates the customers. But, like, really? I'm going to take the optic hits on that as well at the end of my life?
Well, I still believe firmly, and I would bet big on this, that, McDaniel gets the so-called vote of confidence right now. Fine. I don't know.
Can
how
you
legit
imagine
that
if Stephen Ross comes out today and gives a vote of confidence?
Yeah. I mean, but that's what you do, right? If you don't want to fire your guy and you don't want him to twist in the wind, you say, no,
but you
we're
guys
not
are all
considering a change.
consistently saying just lie to your people. McDaniel, stop talking so much. Tua, stop talking so much. I used to like it when you talked a lot, but now you're losers. You're not 9-2 anymore. Stephen Ross, say something. Don't say that. Say something different. Like, that's why the conversation around this team, it's the same thing happening around the Jets. You cannot feed your customers. The game's too expensive. You can't have an absence of hope. He says there are 5 teams worse. Man, it's the Jets, it's the Saints who are in salary cap hell, and that's about it, Craig.
Tennessee's pretty bad.
Tennessee, well, okay, Tennessee, because Cam Ward's been sacked 27 times, and he's not this half of a season. Look, man, we've sped all this up, right? Cam Ward has to figure it out in 8 games in Tennessee, and there's a lot wrong in Tennessee. But, yes, you're right. Tennessee is also one of the teams. But there are precious few who don't have a chance. And even the Titans against the mighty Patriots of Drake May yesterday, Drake May putting on a perfect performance. At the half, that game was close, and then Cam Ward is fumbling the ball into his own end zone because that's what rookies tend to look like 7 games in sometimes when they're not quite ready to play the position.
I'll tell you, I'm shook by Greg's revelation, which may very well be true, that Chris Greer could still potentially be here because the Dolphins are afraid he turned state witness.
It's something that I've heard floated out there by someone connected with the Dolphins who I talk to regularly, mostly by text. And whether or not
This
it
happens to know.
Even he said.
This is a happens to know.
Even
this is a
he
happens
said,
to know. Wait a minute, Greg.
He happens to know? Great Scott, he happens to know. He happens to know.
I get what you're doing.
Gather everyone. Get the children. He happens to know.
Okay. In this case.
So wise.
In this case, the person I talked to happens to think he might know. I'm just saying I have heard this as speculation.
Do we happen to think he might know anything?
Backpedaling!
I'm not reporting anything.
You guys need to stay wise. That was just a little chicken wing to Dan Le Batard. Like, I'm still out in these journalist streets working sources.
Well, I mean,
Via text, he told us.
I have a text buddy who's very good to me, and
It's
always
a dangerous
has been.
game. Putting out like fragile information via text.
No, it really isn't.
I would think the real reporting these days still happens with a phone call.
No.
You don't want that in writing.
Chris,
you don't want that in writing?
You want your voice on the record? Sounding like Donald Sterling? Like, is this your voice? No. If they text it, you can say, that's not me.
Yeah.
He just he changed someone else's number and put my initials there. That's not me.
I got to
Yameen
hear
is
it.
right.
If I
Yameen
see
is
it,
right.
it's not true. I got to hear it.
Okay. Not all sources are local.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See?
Not
That's journalism.
Not all Dolphin sources live in Miami.
You can call anyone that's not from Miami.
I know. So you can text as well.
You got that
So
unlimited
why did-
plan?
You're the one who told me there's no such thing as voicemail anymore. I tried to leave a voicemail with this kid. It says mailbox is full.
Ooh,
And
interesting.
He's like nobody leaves a voicemail
All right,
anymore.
you brought up voicemails. You said you didn't want to play this. Now we're playing this.
No,
on Saturday
no,
night.
No.
Go on.
I don't want to play that.
All right, I'll set it up for the audience. Then we can decide if we play it.
People can go to the website and
Our website?
whatever
Our
podcast. Whatever the hell it is.
Greg, hold on. Just trust your son for a moment. Who's
bakery.
Who's in the bakery?
Yeah.
He's one of our governing chefs.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
So-
can explain it, but don't play it.
PFBI picks are due Saturday at 1 p.m. If you don't get them in by then, that's not fantasy. It's sending in our winners for the week. Send in by Saturday 1 p.m. If you don't do it, you start getting texts. If it's like 4 or 5 p.m., he sends a text. This is the last text. I will be calling. I did my Oktoberfest on Saturday with my family. You know the thing where I got the toe a couple years ago with the guy's toe?
Baloney.
I did that thing on Saturday. So I was late with admittedly, my fault, I was late. It was like 9 p.m., hadn't sent my picks yet.
You were 9 hours late.
So I get a phone call from my dad and then a voicemail in which I realize my dad doesn't realize he's leaving a voicemail. This is my dad after he called me.
Don't play that. No,
Okay.
I don't want that played.
Why?
If you want to listen to it, it's on my podcast. I don't want that played.
He sounds hammered.
For a
That's
couple
why.
of reasons.
You don't want to play because you want to hear it first on your podcast.
Well, that's part of it.
Oh,
sure.
come on.
Oh, come on. Says a guy who has a podcast and would do the exact same thing as
I
I'm
would
doing.
not.
Yeah, you would.
I've literally
Liar.
I've never withheld information here for my podcast.
Yeah, is that
never.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
There's the
Fine.
toe from Oktoberfest.
Yeah. So what a great sentence by you. I was at my annual Oktoberfest. Like I cannot tell you. Okay, I cannot tell you. You brought me back to a time so disconcerting, so unpleasant, where you revealed the toe from your Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
I was in a bathroom and I looked down. I'm like sitting at the stall and I look to the right and this guy's encroachment. Guy next to me. He's in my stall. His foot was in my area.
I have to get to the
disgusting.
Hampton Farms Nuttiest fan. Please keep this energy all show, Greg. Okay.
Wait, so we're not playing the voicemail?
No, you can hear it on my podcast, which dropped this morning. I mean, seriously, I'm not proud of it.
Oh, wait a minute. It already dropped?
Yes.
I didn't know I was being
No,
recorded.
you did. You didn't hang up your phone.
Okay,
you
but-
called me.
but
That's the
that's
best
what I
part of
mean.
this. It's,
You've already aired this, and now you're embargoing something you've already aired?
Yeah, because if you want to listen to it, you can go to my podcast.
This is him talking to my mom after he's called me, saying that I need to be able to punish him for not getting his picks in, and I need your vote. This is collusion. He's talking to another member of the league that he sleeps with, and he's a commissioner.
Okay.
And he's pressuring her to vote his way on a league vote.
Listen, I tried to explain to Junior, and commissioners know each other. Okay, Goodell, me, all the commissioners know each other. If Roger Goodell is trying to pass something with the other owners in the NFL, you don't think he goes to other owners and say, hey, I need your support.
There's
I think it's
audio
gross.
proof of you colluding with another owner
That
you
he sleeps
sleep
with.
I don't call it collusion.
He's the commissioner. She's just an owner. He sleeps with her.
By the way, Chris, you're making the exact point was why sources don't call.
See? Thank you, Amin.
Because
Amin
we have
knows.
him on the record?
Amin gets me.
Please, can I play this?
No, let's not.
No, we
Seriously.
must. No,
No,
here's the
I-
thing.
no,
Chris,
no,
Well,
no,
here,
no.
Chris, this is what I'm telling you. No, wait a minute. Greg, we're all a network here, okay? We're all working in this job together to try and make sure that everyone gets the clicks, and no one's trying to deny you your beloved clicks.
Maybe we play half of it?
No, I'm thinking you call, you download it on your phone, give your father the click. Anybody can do that. And you just put that into the microphone.
The audio is so bad enough.
It's bad.
Like, it's not great audio.
Imagine that. I didn't know I was being recorded. I didn't know the phone was
You
left
called
on.
me.
I didn't know I had left the phone on.
You left me the voicemail.
Why didn't you hang up? Why are you waiting for me to hang up?
I didn't answer.
Is
It's
your
a voicemail.
Is your voicemail full because
Why didn't I hang up?
What is happening right
This
now?
guy. He didn't take a voicemail.
What if I have a solution? So you get the download, I play from your podcast into the microphone.
I'd rather you didn't.
But then you get the download.
Can I stop you? No,
Guys,
I would rather you didn't.
This isn't about teasing it. He sounds hammered and he's embarrassed.
But he's gonna sell it for his own.
Can
clicks?
we just play the first sentence to let people get a taste of it, and then we'll stop it, and they'll have to go listen to the rest of it.
That's a solution.
That's a good compromise.
That's a decent compromise.
If you're not lying to me.
You tell me when to stop it, and we'll stop
No,
it.
you stop after the first
All right,
sentence.
let's
First
negotiate
sentence.
this, Greg. What would please hold on?
There's long gaps here.
How many seconds?
Listen,
The full thing's 22 seconds.
okay, we'll negotiate this in a second. We will, I assume, at some point get to the University of Miami.
Please,
I got
I want
Hampton Farms. I have to do Nuttiest fan, and I got Tony's top 5 is lingering out there. He wants to give us. He's been late with his football opinion. So when he says, Dan, the Colts are good, he's doing that on Tuesday after it's already been said. It's too late. So Tony wants in on the show, and I've got to get to him at some point with his top 5 because we got the basketball guy back there. And he's doing a good job because he's got the best team in the ACC. He's got one of 2 coaches now because we'll get to it.
Stay focused.
Yes, I'm sorry. No, because I do want to get to the University of Miami, but Greg's temperature is hot, and I believe you've cooled him down now. But in order to tease his podcast and get him the clicks, maximum efficiency as a team, what little tease are you willing to give your son? 7 seconds of a 22-second clip so they can hear the rest of your secret shame, so secret your drunkenness that you publicized it for your gain this morning.
I think there are long enough gaps in here where you can kind of jump in and be like, okay, that's it.
The best part of that is what your mother says at the end.
And we won't get to that. We will not reveal
I don't
that.
want all of me before that. No.
All right. Just play this out.
Just
Say stop it when you want me to. Ready? Here we go. This is my dad calling me on Saturday night, leaving me a voicemail. He doesn't know he's leaving me, complaining to my mom about me not getting my picks in time.
I'm going to send out a group text to the league this coming week proposing punishment powers.
Okay, that's enough.
If anything like this happens.
That's enough. Stop it.
Chris, you said to stop it. You promised him.
He does sound drunk.
And then he goes, and I need your support.
Okay.
All right, just play it.
All right. No.
Just play that part.
No. He has not to. He has not to.
You listen. Understand one thing. That wasn't the commissioner of PFPI talking to mom's maniacs. That was Greg talking to his wife. Okay, there's a separation of church and state there.
But you were. You wait. You promised him you wouldn't.
I was replaying.
Don't make him
That's
angrier.
Enough. There's more that you can listen to on my podcast. That's all.
Give
If anything like this happens.
Look, I don't want to keep upsetting your father.
I need your support.
Okay. All right.
That's it, I promise.
It's lecherous. It's slurring. It sounds a bit drunk.
In Greg's defense, it was the weekend.
And it is collusion.
Thank you.
It's absolute collusion.
No, it isn't.
Is
it collusion when Roger Goodell speaks to the owner of so-and-so
hammered?
Because he wants his support?
Yes.
It is collusion.
Hammered
You think, good luck
and
proving that in court.
let's punish. Hey, let's get together and punish somebody. Yes.
Bob Kraft.
Okay.
I need you to vote with me on this.
Okay, this
Like,
guy,
what do you mean?
This guy is the only one who's consistently late with his picks.
Here we go.
Consistently.
All right, no one cares about this part.
Well, I do as commissioner, and as your father, quite frankly. It increases my stress level. Eventually, I call him. He never answers.
You'll admit,
so
though.
I text his wife to try to say, hey, your husband still hadn't given me his picks. Kick him in the ass.
You'll admit that you're sleeping with a member of the league.
Just to be clear, though, he's not okay with the lateness of the picks, but he is okay being late to his own opinion and late to the show.
I'm okay being having my own opinion when I have it, and I am okay being late to this show. Yeah.
That's a great T-shirt. I'm okay about having my opinion when I have it.
Isn't everybody?
But okay, I'm going to move away from the Dolphins now. Who are the Hampton Farms Nuttiest fan contestants here? Because I did want to get to what Jeff Brom and Brent Key did this weekend. Because
Dan, this is very exciting. We have 2 nominees. The Nuttiest Fan, brought to you by Hampton Farms. Get nutty with Hampton Farms, the official peanut of bowl season. Vote for your favorite Nutty fan at Le Batard Show on Instagram. We have 2 nominees here. First, the BYU fans making their president crowd surf. BYU president Shane Reese crowd surfing after they beat Utah. And, I mean, you got to check for your wallet, right?
Still undefeated. BYU is still undefeated. They won into the playoff.
I mean, this guy, crowd surfing, that he could surf forever. There's a lot of people there. And going against, we got to always have some Miami in this. DJ Khaled, before the game, warming up with the University of Miami, doing calisthenics as we pan over to a DJ Khaled getting his workout in.
Yeah, that's
and he's
good.
a Nutty fan. So you can vote at Le Batard Show for this week's Nuttiest fan. You good, Dad?
Yeah. Whenever there's a cough button down here.
Other mics are on in the room.
Whatever. That kind of thing.
Your glasses are steamed up.
I know they are. I'm steamed up.
Can I apologize to you here in front of everybody?
So anything to avoid UM talk,
for calling you a fool twice?
Well, is it a sincere apology?
Yes.
Ooh, there was a pause there. Did you see that? Dramatic pause before he said yes. Okay, then I accept.
Thank
well,
you.
would you like the apology at the expense of the entire clip being played? Is the apology worth that?
Well, I negotiated it poorly, right? Because I gave him the apology. He questioned
thank
it,
you.
and it's funny that we're bowing to this whim because again, he's already published the drunken slurs of punishment and collusion against
not slurs.
and with Mom's Maniac.
Slurring, not slurs.
For sure, that's your father drunk. For sure. That is the end of the night, and he is colluding and his booziest, worst behavior because he wants to win the league, and you must be punished.
And the part here I just want to reemphasize. A lot of people are like, oh, there's the PFPI, shtick, bit. He has no clue that's, like, he thinks that is just him talking to my, like, that is so genuine.
Yes.
Of how serious he takes it. That's my favorite part of it.
If I knew I was being recorded, I would have had a little more liveliness in my voice. I sounded like I was coming out of a crypt. I mean, ridiculous.
I'm going to send out a group text to the league this coming week proposing punishment powers.
Okay, that's enough.
If anything like this happens.
My mom, okay. I love my mom there. Just like, okay.
She's tolerated so many calls like this. She's got go get her voicemail.
It's very patronizing.
I bet you her voicemails are littered with we should hire like investigator Ted Wells. I'm sure there are dozens of messages. I'm sure.
I'm gonna need your
We could
support.
buy from your mother just eternal shame for your father, which would be a trove of like a dozen messages like this that he calls whenever he's had too many beers.
I need your support.
All right, look, we're an 8-team league.
Look at that collusion.
3 people, 37.5% of the league are in his house.
And you're never going to hear me saying that to them, is my point.
Because you think it goes without saying that your wife and your daughter are going to side with you, so I need to marshal and corral the other people.
I need your support.
Damn right I do. And
Nobody in this family takes it as seriously as he does.
Thank you. And proudly. I invented PFPI, although perhaps my brother did. One of us invented PFPI in 1969 in a corner bedroom in 1440.
I need your support.
I do. I ain't lying.
What a political campaign.
It's wild.
Boozed up calling your wife.
I was tired. I was not boozed up. That's not slurring. That's
I need your support.
weariness.
It's pleading and longing and
I need your
desperate.
support.
Okay.
How thrilled were you when you stumbled upon it?
Oh, my God. I'm like, thank you. I just started clipping it and texting it to all my family.
In Greg's defense, I mean, voicemail quality makes that sound a lot worse.
Thank you, Billy. He's right. You know, it's not my fault that it was a bad tape. Whatever. Recording.
So if you want the full,
Hear my mom's reaction.
here you go. Yeah, there we go.
That was funny.
This is the promotion he's always wanted. Not this way, obviously. Greg Cote thinks I do a shitty job of promoting his podcast on our network.
Not
today,
always. Not always.
Today, our audience is going to make you soar into the sky, searching out what was the leader of Mom's Maniac's reaction to her drunken, slurred call from the commissioner and being caught on tape in what is clear and obvious collusion.
I need your support.
I literally have it queued up. Look, the Greg Cote show.
We should all play it.
Featuring Greg Cote.
not.
It's queued up
We should
on
all,
my
we should
phone.
all give them the clicks. We should all play it at the same time. We should all we should have
I've got the timestamp and everything.
What's the timestamp? Give it to me.
52:42.
Let's all do it at
It's
once.
late in
Let's
there.
have our other employees from the other room come in and all click on the podcast and all air this, echoing into eternity so you can get all the clicks.
Hey, how about those hurricanes, huh? I got to tell you, Mike will agree with me. For a 24-21 game, ostensibly a close game, that was an ass-kicking. I can't believe it looks close at the end because the Canes, and I'm a big Canes supporter, big Mario guy, and still am, but the Canes just crashed. They got their ass handed to them.
Can you be a Kane supporter if you're a journalist?
I need your support.
When I say I'm a Kane supporter, what I mean is I think they're really, really good. I think they have a chance to win the national championship.
But they are good. They are good.
Yeah.
But they if you have 4 interceptions, they were lucky that none of Carson Beck's interceptions have turned into points.
He had 2 on one drive.
Right, that was such an atrocious call. That was the worst interception that he threw, the one that didn't end up counting.
Yes. It was a bad route, though, I think. Right?
You could
That's what he
crush.
said. That's what he always says, apparently.
You could crush him and them today because they disappointed what we thought, what we were talking about, as if undefeated Hurricane teams from yore are still the standard today when teams are going to lose once and twice a season. But that is a good team that ended up losing exactly the way that a more talented team will lose, which is the coach took away your stuff on the other side. You're very good at pass rush. Here's Jeff Brom with 2-second drops and just throw it into the ground and it's fine. We'll figure it out. You're not going to beat us. We're going to let that quarterback beat us because what we're going to do is go ahead, Mario, with Fletcher. Headbutt your way down the field. Try it here. We're not going to allow that very good, tough running back to get off in the middle. You're going to go to the outside? No. You're not going to go to the outside with speed? No. You're behind early in the game, and now what's going to happen? You're going to throw your way back into it, and you got one real playmaker that you're just going to keep throwing the ball to, and that's how they're going to lose. They lose at home. They shouldn't lose. They were a 2-touchdown favorite. Mario Cristobal now has 5 of those losses since 2022 as a 2-touchdown favorite. It's how he's going to lose. You're going to run into a Georgia Tech, and you're going to have the better players, and they're going to be more disciplined in some ways. They put you down 14-0 with a fake field goal, and now your quarterback needs to sling his way out of it, and that's how you win the Heisman.
Yeah, that 13.5-point line was absurd from the get-go, and that's why it sank down to 10 points by kickoff. But, look, they just got there, and Jeff Brom out-coached Cristobal. And I rarely say,
that part was obvious.
Yeah.
You take away their pass rush and throw everything in 2 seconds, and you simply cannot run the ball. And your quarterback, guys, this part was simple. Carson Beck was unbothered. He was not rushed a lot. That's 4 interceptions, and Louisville made 3 great plays on 3 of the interceptions. A lot of time that hits the ground. On 3 cornerbacks made 3 great plays, but he's throwing into triple coverage 60 yards downfield.
Yeah, he's deciding to shoo easy checkdowns or checkdowns that even get them, first downs with plenty of yards ahead of these receivers to take these deep shots. I do think some of these interceptions are what you would call healthy interceptions because he trusts his arm to take a shot, but it was a thorough coaching ass-kicking. It wasn't just about getting rid of the ball quickly. They knew that if they had to go up against Miami's defensive line, remember Jeff Brom had a bye week as well, that even if they tried to do normal pass block, that would not work. They turned to these cut blocks that were so effective against Miami that bought Moss the time and the passing lanes to do what he did. It was just a really impressive thing that Jeff Brom did, and it was what you were afraid of with Jeff Brom having that much time to prepare.
And at the beginning of the game, when Louisville came out with 2 quarterbacks on the field, started running the Wildcat. At one point, they had 3 quarterbacks on the field for a play.
It was a clinic, and they've got a pro at wide receiver. Bell, he's faster than some of their corners, and that's going to happen. It's a violent defense. It's a good football team. It really is. But if Carson Beck fell in love with, FSU, this is fun, throw the ball 70 yards downfield, and what? FSU lost to Stanford? To Stanford? What? And is incompetent at the end? More and more football is becoming about precision. Like, I can talk to you about how the Jags are not serious people, and the Rams showed you why. The Rams go in there, Stafford, career high in touchdowns for the game. Devontae Adams, career high in touchdowns for the game. They're coming out in 3 tight end sets with 1 wide receiver. This team does it if they have Cooper Kupp, or they have it with Puka or Devontae Adams, because when you're run structurally with great precision, and the Jags have sacked you on 3rd and 7, and you get 2 penalties on defense, pass interference and face mask, both of them side to side, and you ruin every good play you have in that game because the Jags are not serious people. Like, everyone's playing right now like a military game of who can be more precise. Where are Puka's hands open? Just get the hands open. The rest of him doesn't have to be open. We're going to do this super precise. Jeff Brom is showing you how they do it at the collegiate level, and so's Brent Key at Amin's Georgia Tech, where this is exactly how they'll lose to Georgia Tech in the ACC championship game, where you've got the better players. You know you've got the better players. Oh, wait, 2-second drops? You've eliminated Reuben Bain. You're not eliminated him because he's great, but 2-second drops, nobody can do anything with that. And you're going to be able to run the ball. And this is the other part. Christo, the Christo ball, the way he wants to play, Christo ball, it's stubborn. It's Fletcher headbutting you up the middle. There were no outside runs in that game. Miami's fast.
Yeah, Miami can turn the corner. I think the conservative nature of the runs, we covered this against Notre Dame and a little bit against FSU, is I understand wanting to run the ball. I don't understand why you're just married to the A gap. If I'm Jordan Lyle, I wonder what am I doing with my time down here in Miami, because they're not going to give me the opportunity to do what I do better than anybody else in that running back room, which is turn the corner, get to the second level. It was very frustrating. You knew that Jeff Brom, look, he's done this. He's done this at Louisville. I think Louisville hasn't lost a game in the last 2 seasons by more than a score. He always makes up for talent deficiencies, even when this is probably the worst Louisville team of
He's got
of
4
the few
top
years.
5 wins. He's going to be the next coaching guy. He
did it to Ohio State when he was at Purdue. He's a really good coach, but Miami, like, that's how you get beat. You stay married to the A gap, you're undisciplined, and you get all these procedural penalties that back you up. The Okunlola one was just mystifying. And it was a really bad effort. And yeah, I guess you're encouraged that you had an opportunity to win that game at the end when you put up an F+ performance.
Were you surprised they weren't more conservative in the end there when they were obviously in field goal range?
Like, Carson Beck spoke to it. It's kind of for a pass play. They like the play that they had. It's a conservative call in that situation. They were in game-tying field goal range. Mm-hmm. They were. They'd make an incredible play to tip the ball at the line of scrimmage, and the catch is even better, but you gave him that opening. Carson Beck said Lofton ran the wrong route, and I will say from...
It looked like it.
It did, but from that comment to the 4 picks, Carson Beck to rubbing his elbow the entire second half to make sure that the cameras caught it. I've been a big Carson Beck defender. I said that most people in the media last week made up their minds because he's ugly. And that's all that was happening. Yeah, it was a direct quote. Nobody's backed Carson Beck better. I said he had a better fall camp than Cam Ward did. That, on Friday night, was the Carson Beck that Georgia fans warned you about. From the recklessness to not being the greatest team guy to rubbing the elbow. I did not like that. He needs to bounce back.
But at least we've never seen the Canes, lose games where it's close late. So you won't have to worry about that again.
They've won plenty of games that were close late, though.
They don't have control of their own destiny to go to the ACC championship at this point?
No. There is a nightmare scenario in which they can run the table. Although I will say it's different than last year because they do have the non-conference wins. They do have the marquee wins.
Meaning a better chance of getting in that large bid.
Yeah, so like if they don't make Charlotte, they'll make it to CFP. However, that opens the door for them to potentially host a college football playoff game if they do run the table and not have a stadium to play in.
You hear about this, Dan?
Have you seen the reporting on this? There is a La Liga, very controversial La Liga match that Barcelona is going to be playing.
Were they protesting?
Yeah, they were. The whole league did. All of La Liga.
Stephen Ross has been trying to get this game over here for more than 2 years. They have finally scheduled it. However, they have scheduled it. It's going to be a 10:15 a.m. local start, by the way. They have scheduled it on a day that if Miami is thrown into that first round of the CFP and is in the situation in which they're deemed host worthy, they may not have a stadium to play in. And it has Miami looking at contingency plans that include potentially playing a CFP playoff game in Orlando.
Well, why does this La Liga game have precedence over a potential Miami Hurricanes, an active tenant in that building?
You would hope that the CFP tries to help you out, but the CFP is also married to their schedule and has things kind of identified. You would hope that they meet you halfway there, but this has been tied up in litigation for 2 years. For them to all of a sudden get the green light, as hard as that's been, because La Liga, the teams over in Europe don't operate the way that the NFL does. In that, let's grow the game and play games that mean something somewhere else.
Right, I like what La Liga does. I hate the way the NFL does
The fan bases would hate that. The customer base in Europe has so much power over capitalism.
They should hate it.
I love what they did to protest. All weekend in stadiums across Spain, the game began, and then every player from both teams just stood there, not playing during a game for 15 or 20 seconds. It was quite a statement, and television didn't have the balls to show it. But that happened in La Liga. And by the way, the Dolphins play a home game the next day, so that's going to be a crazy weekend.
Zaz, to answer your question, the reason why it takes precedence is because Stephen Ross is the owner of Hard Rock, so he's the one who's bringing this game here.
Right.
The Hurricanes are merely tenants,
Right.
and when you are not the landlord can tell you to kick rocks.
Right. No, totally. But that just feels like, man, you're not being a very good partner.
Well, it makes sense that they would play in Orlando, a town that's actually seen an undefeated college football team in the last, 2 decades.
Jeff Brom deciding, hey, 300-pound guys, you're going to fall on the ground right away, and we're going to get 4 yards every time. Like Ruben Bain, Mesidor got hurt in that game. I don't know if he actually got hurt on one of these cut blocks, but they did not like that. One bit.
Why'd you turn into Tim Robinson right there? They did not like that.
They didn't like
one
bit. They hated having offensive linemen cut at their knees as soon as the ball was snapped, and it was just. Jeff Brom is so friggin' good.
It's a promising strategy.
He's so good. He's so smart.
Promising.
Good. That was great.
The average throw was 2.32 seconds. You eliminate the pass rush that way. There aren't a lot of. I want to talk to you guys for a second about precision. The Jacksonville Rams game. To go on the road and score 35 points because Matthew Stafford would be a league changer right now if he changed teams because of what I'm talking about. A precision that, hey, Puka, the rest of you doesn't have to get open. Just your hands. They've got to cover everything all over the field, and we're so precise with Devontae Adams that Devontae Adams has been good for a long time. That's as productive as he can be without Puka, without Cooper Kupp. Like, they could just recreate it because at that position, they've got what you're going to see from Baker Mayfield now, where when you have one of these guys and you're watching him play professional college games that rub the elbow in the second half when you start throwing the interceptions, people start crafting your story. Like, we're making these kids professional before they're ready to be professional, okay? So 4 interceptions is going to hurt when everyone was just saying a minute ago, Carson Beck, you can take that championship thing anywhere you go. You could be social media famous. You could get all the things. We'll steal your car in Miami. But when you start throwing the 4 interceptions, the city will turn on you like you're a pro. Like, we know this team is good. This team is good. Jeff Brom dared you to beat him. Dared you to beat him. Like, wasn't going to let his quarterback beat him. Dared you to beat him. Said no running game. Nope. Go ahead, kid. And stand back there. Stand back there for a while. Not pressured until the end of the game. And you're going to throw 4 picks because you keep throwing it down the field because you don't know. What is it? You're going to have us now brain. Do you think that we think that C.J. Daniels and Tony aren't people who can get open on shallow routes? Like, he threw 4 interceptions, but I will say, Louisville made 3 great plays on 4 of those interceptions.
Well,
But I mean, does that not matter? There were no points off of that.
yeah, but if you get, that's why they have turnover-worthy plays.
Miami was gifted a few things. 2 bogus roughing the passer calls. The game was gifted to them at the end. That fumble is like you almost did all of Brom's coaching, undid it with 1 fumble in a disaster scenario that gave the game right back to Miami.
But they couldn't undo Mario's coaching.
That was a great tackle by that player, putting his helmet on the ball. Like that's just not totally random.
I was told Mike crashed out on Twitter during the game.
There were 6 tweets, and one of them, after another, was just more and more depressed. Miami is shell-shocked. Brom is in his bag. Stadium PA is on drugs, and not the good kind. This is bad. That's the first tweet of the 6, Dan.
Okay.
To where he ultimately blamed them for playing the conga.
Biggest town of your life.
I saw you criticize the crowd.
The crowd was late arriving. That was a bad crowd.
What?
I mean, the student section is a disaster. I mean, for all the people, for all the you didn't go to Miami crowd that's out there, the people that go to Miami support the program the least. It's revolting. And the PA has been an experience all season long.
What do you say?
The game operations tried to do something new. First off, figure out a uniform level of sound. No one heard the team come out. You do this whole in the air tonight thing. Volume was so muted.
That must be why they lost.
You didn't set it. It's getting to the point where I think Mario Cristobal should say something to game ops because they did. All right, the fake field goal that everyone knew was coming except for Miami. That was a perfect chance to take because if you're short, you still get the first down. PA is like, first down, Miami, after it was ruled it was short of a
Can't do that, Dan. You got to know.
touchdown.
Can't do that.
No, and Miami players were celebrating as if they stopped him short of the goal line when they got the first down.
Wait a second, Mike, was this a new PA guy?
It's the same PA guy, although he's been bad. Sometimes he's been getting our players wrong. They tried something new when Carson Beck ran out. It's like, now leading the team, Carson Beck. And you're like, what is this? This sounds whack. There was one time where we almost got an interception, and the PA is like, that was a close one. It was just cheesy and corny. And I know DJ Volume gets a lot of crap. Playing the conga before the biggest third down of the game.
No, you said of your life.
That's not DJ Volume making that call. It's game ops. Let me fire up this crowd with conga. We're not supposed to be this family-friendly atmosphere. You can toe a line between letting kids make sure they're safe here and playing some music that gets people pumped up. I mean, we're doing Sweet Caroline at these games. We're playing Black Eyed Peas. What the hell are we doing?
I do think it's fair to say that when you win 5 games in a row, nobody gives a shit about the PA.
Not true.
Or what's being said.
Not true. People are angry at the in-game presentation. They've been going at a DJ, perhaps some unfairly, to the point that the DJ's putting out notepads I'm sorry, it's my bosses. There's game ops. I'm not playing all these songs. It's been a thing.
And to be fair, nobody likes a PA who editorializes. No. Just tell us who caught, who didn't catch.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
There's a skill to this. There's an energy in a crowd. I miss Jay Rokeach.
Mike, if the PA keeps playing like that, you got to be worried. You got a home game against Stanford coming up. That's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. They just pull off a big conference win. Then you travel to SMU.
I don't like what you're doing.
Then it's home against Syracuse.
What's with your little
NC
dickish
State?
Voice? What's with your little dickish
That's
voice
a
talking
dickish
to me?
voice.
Is his voice little?
You're
or
going to
is
go
it-
to
Are you gonna
Blacksburg
talk to
and
me
win a
like an
game?
adult?
Nobody
Are you gonna-
goes
are
into
you gonna- are you
Blacksburg
gonna
and wins
use
a game. Not
little
at Virginia
dickish
Tech. I don't
voice?
care where they're
Are we
at
having a real
Pittsburgh
conversation?
at the end of the year? You
Why
got to
don't
be nervous. You're not going to
why
make
don't
it
you play
large.
a grown-up? Try a grown-up voice.
Dickish.
I need your support.
no matter what is happening around the Miami Dolphins season, this show will still party around Dolphins football. We will create a fun and happy atmosphere at the gates of hell as the apocalypse engulfs the football team by getting an entire block and sectioning it off, wearing costumes, my kink, I can finally admit it. Right around Halloween, we're going to do this watch party. We don't do a lot of this. Greg, Cody, are you coming? Are you coming to the Kendall watch party? Are you holding out? Is there an appearance fee involved?
No, I would do it for free if I do end up going. But I am scheduled to be at that game. But my knee situation complicates it. That's right around the time of my surgery. I'm going to try to actually make that event if I can.
It's a Miller Lite watch party, October 30th. It's a week from this upcoming Thursday at the Flanagan's in Kendall, Southwest 88th Street and Kendall Drive. $1,500 costume contest. The whole crew will be out there. Come check it out.
Southwest.
We will section off a block, and it's going to be fun. We will make it fun. The thing that I just heard, and I wish we had this audio, and I wish we were secretly recording Tony because I can't believe it happened. He's at FIU Stadium, and he actually said into a hot mic, sort of muttering to himself, "The house I could have built if they had let me." If they had just let me. Now, the only information we have on Tony's FIU career is he tried out as a walk-on one time. They didn't even give him a football. He was just throwing air passes, and then he went home, and they never gave him his real chance. But can you guys please explain to me who overheard that and why it is that he was muttering that into the microphone when he was off air?
I heard it, and it's just as Tony as it can be. Least surprising thing I've ever heard.
Who was
I
the
heard
coach
it as
at
well.
the time?
It was Cristobal. Wasn't it Cristobal?
Classic poor coaching decision
Was
by
Cristobal
Mario
your
Cristobal.
coach when you walked on?
No, Dan, it was not Mario Cristobal. So I would have walked on around 2013-14. I think that's when they were in kind of flux. Cristobal had just left, and before Butch Davis, I want to say. So it was kind of somewhere in between.
Was
Might
it
have
Lon Kruger?
Was it Isaiah Thomas?
Might have been
No,
Lon
wait,
Kruger.
it wasn't Turner. Ron Turner. I think I made him an NBA coach.
Ron Turner.
Coaching Oklahoma.
Yeah, Lon Kruger, I don't think it was. But I think it was Ron Turner. But yeah, Dan, I did say it because I have to test the mic when I go to things.
I get Ron and Lons confused all the time.
I'm sorry, Tony. I missed that. I didn't understand why he was employing the Illinois basketball coach at FIU. But this isn't.
We hired an Illinois football coach.
FIU basketball and football are a bit of a way station here for minor league football under the University of Miami. And Tony tried out without a football, with an air football, and he could have built that. Is that Pitbull Stadium?
Dan, I am right now in the Pitbull Stadium, in the bowels of Pitbull Stadium, walking into one of the tunnels here. And if you can see right over my left shoulder right here, that's actually where I was when I was trying out. So about midfield, maybe the 45-yard line. They had a fake under center like this. And I was ready to call my plays, and I was ready to call my stuff. 3-step drop. Okay, boom. We're throwing. All right, give me a 5-stepper. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bounce, bounce, throw.
But
boom.
Tony, do you know why
shotgun.
did they not have enough footballs? Like, how many guys were out there, and why wouldn't they just have brought out like a dozen footballs that everyone could have reused?
Yeah, or at least a Nerf
No, see,
ball.
that's a great point, Dan. Yeah, no, that would have been a great point. They actually had tennis balls that they were using for the wide receivers and the DBs, which I could have thrown the tennis ball. But the information that I was given as to why they didn't have footballs for us to try out was because that would have actually taken away practice time and some sort of NCAA bylaws. That if they would have brought out footballs for the walk-ons, they would have actually lost a day of practice with the real team, which I didn't feel really great when they said that to me. I was like, well, we're trying to make the real team, aren't we? And he's like, yeah, but you know. And then I was like, he's like, all right, 5-step talk. I was like, all right, here.
Tony's Top 5 is presented by Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the National Football League. Smirnoff, please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York, vodka, 40% alcohol by volume.
I like the idea of Tony arguing with the coach why he can't have a real ball.
It was a quick argument because he's like, yeah, the real team. And then I was like, okay. And then he said 5-step drop, and then I just went back like a robot and started doing 5-step drops.
Quick question. Had they used not a real football, like maybe a Nerf football or maybe one of like that Nickelodeon ball we have behind us here, does that count as practice or no?
No, I think it's got to be pigskin, right? I think if it's pigskin, then they can get docked. But if it was foam, if it was maybe some sort of animal skin that wasn't pig, maybe we could have used it. But again, That's 10 years in the past, Dan. It could have been the house that I built.
Tony
but
says
who knows?
he's loaded today. Top 5, too many OLIs. Let's get through this. Let's start with the first OLI. Tony's top 5 observations from the NFL weekend.
We'll bang out through the OLI really quick. Michael McCorkle-Jones keeps getting it done, Dano. Thank you. I was waiting for that. Appreciate it.
That's Mac
Second
Jones's
OLI,
full name.
Braves revenge game. Yeah, Michael McCorkle-Jones.
McCorkle.
I'm going to ask this one to the class. Ask Trey McBride who he'd rather have at QB. Did you guys see the stats with him and Kyler Murray versus him and Jacoby Brissett? Do you guys know that stat or no?
Brissett targets him so much.
And throws touchdowns to him. Imagine that. You have a really good tight end. Kyler Murray's like, you know what? I'd rather not throw touchdowns to him. I'd rather throw touchdowns to Michael Wilson. But Jacoby Brissett's like, man, this guy's really good. Let me throw him the ball in the end zone, which is usually a good thing when you have a guy who's 6'5" and runs a 4.6. But alas. All right, second last OLI. Jags. Just when I think I'm in, they push me back out.
They're not serious people.
Dan, do you want to say the text that you told me on? You texted me privately when that game started.
Yeah, sure. I just said I have just bet the Jags and I know I'm going to regret it. Like I know the game had not started.
Instantaneously down 21-0.
Because because I believe in them athletically, but they're not serious people.
What do you mean by that?
Insane, Dan. Insane.
I'll tell you. Thank you for asking the question. I'll tell you what I mean by that. What I mean by that is the Jags, every good play that they had in yesterday's game was undone by a penalty. So they had, at one point the announcer said, and the 11th and 12th penalty of this game wipe out a 3rd and 7 sacks for the Jags. Again, the Rams are playing 3 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. 3 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. When I'm telling you that Stafford and Devontae Adams beat the Jags by themselves by just standing there and watching them implode, they're not serious people. Matthew Stafford is doing no-look passes in the Super Bowl because he knows exactly where to throw the ball that's 3 inches. Brian Thomas, you hit him with a face mask. Trevor Lawrence cannot be trusted to do anything but buck and Bronco like a Clydesdale. They're fools. There, I said it. They're fools.
They exhibit the behaviors of a fool.
Yes, they're not fools. Just act like fools.
I don't know. You haven't been watching the Jags that closely, then. All right, last OLI. Oh, shit, here come the Chiefs. Dan, I think we were wrong.
Woo! So wrong.
Wow. Rashee Rice makes a big difference,
Yeah,
Pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good player.
Yeah, he's good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and that
Pretty good.
precision thing
All right.
where you can throw it to one guy 7 times and every time it's going to be open. Yeah, it makes everybody a little bit better.
Yeah. All right, we'll get into the top 5 now.
Except Baker.
Number 5.
Baker doesn't need anybody. Baker doesn't need precision with anybody.
Get somebody off the couch, you'll catch a touchdown with Baker. Only if we could teach that to Trevor Lawrence, who is still, again, throwing touchdowns to nobody, but throwing the ball to Parker Washington, of all people. Anyways, we'll get off to number 5 here. The Eagles are going to be all right. The Eagles are going to be all right, Dan. Remember I said that.
Jalen Hurts had the
Still
best
too
game.
good of a team on both sides.
Jalen Hurts had the best game non-Drake May division that was had by any quarterback in the league yesterday. And is it not funny to you guys the way these guys now treat 4th downs? God almighty, they've gone in the other direction. Now these guys are throwing deep on 4th and 1 all over the place because it's a calculated advantage because everybody's selling out to stop the yard. It's crazy.
Dan, I will say this, though. Brian Flores, for as much flack as we gave him here in Miami, has figured out the tush push. I don't know if you guys have talked about it yet. I was getting here to the field. Okay, you line up a guy just on the floor, just in front of the line of scrimmage. Don't let him be on a 3-point stance or 5 point. Just lay him down horizontally on the floor so the guys can't get underneath him. It's probably the greatest way to stop the tush push. I wonder if people are going to use that going forward against Philly or not.
I think the next move, you stack defensive tackles on top of each other. lying on top of each other.
Wow. Just like have 4 guys.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
4 guys up this way. I like that.
Like a
pyramid.
I like
You
that.
build a wall.
Yes. Shout out to Stan Van Gundy.
You're screwed if they do
Number
play
4.
action, but
Yeah,
Or if they go wide.
Or if they throw to A.J. Brown.
We're trying to stop the tush push, guys. Come on. What are we doing here?
They throw a fade to A.J. Brown against the corner who's 6 inches shorter.
Number 4, the Cowboys aren't dead yet. Keep an eye on them. I know their defense isn't great, but keep an eye on the Cowboys. Keep an eye on them, Dano.
Tony, their defense is so bad.
Keep an eye on them.
I mean,
What happened to Trayvon Diggs where he got hurt at his house and is in concussion protocol? What is that supposed to mean?
An accident in his home.
When Dak Prescott is healthy, that team is always a 12-win team. Now, they may not make it to 12 wins, but when he is healthy, they win. We got to get used to that.
Bingo. Number 3, through 3 quarters, I was getting ready to vehemently defend the top 5 intriguing teams list I did earlier this season, where Dan laughed at my Giants selection and called it garbage. Then in the 4th quarter, Denver scored 33 points, and I realized I still won the take because I'm a pro Bo Nix guy. Not being take accountable, Dan, that's the best part of my job. Bo Nix, 33 points, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns in the 4th quarter. That Jackson Dart interception was an absolute backbreaker. And then the Giants kicker missed the extra point. I could have kicked the extra point with a bad leg and made it, maybe.
No.
How's that lawsuit going, by the way?
I would have pushed it wide right. I'm actually in talks with your wife to see what's going on here.
Good.
To figure out how I can sue the company.
You need her support?
Yeah. I might make an appearance over there. Yeah. A lot of people won't touch this case, Dano, because of your name around the city. But I finally found an attorney who I think knows you enough to make something happen. So I'm very excited about that.
I need your support.
Exactly right. Number 2. Going to continue to beat the drum on this, but the Colts are the most complete team in football.
So that's an interesting thing that happened, huh? Like, it can't even be denied right now. In terms of efficiencies marching down the field, they'll put 38 on anybody in a way that's a bit different than the way Kansas City does it, right? Because they've got they're still using the great running back. Nobody needs one of those anymore, but they've got one that's better than all the rest.
And Tyler Warren, who's a really good rookie tight end. Michael Pittman, the ghost of Michael Pittman, all of a sudden catching balls all over the field. They've got 19 guys that can just go out and get a 55-yard bomb. The Colts are exciting. And defense, Lou Anarumo's got the defense playing really well, Dano.
They are the most efficient offense this century when it comes to points per drive.
I saw that.
No, but beyond that,
Yeah,
I
I
remind
saw
you that a couple of weeks ago, Zaslow over here was telling us Harbaugh's the greatest coach there's ever been because the Chargers had 2 good games of defense.
All right.
No, but the Colts can do that against anybody.
He was right back then.
I was talking about what they were at that moment.
Can't be late with an opinion, Dan.
Have we had a younger ghost of than Michael Pittman?
Why was he a ghost? Because he hurt his ankle?
I mean, for years, the guy didn't do anything. Nah, he hurt his back, hurt his ankle. He was all over the place getting hurt in the injured reserve and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, he's just catching passes from everywhere from Danny Dimes. Crazy.
Jalen hurt.
Woof. Good one, Greg.
Thank you.
All right, Dano, number 1. We can only save this for the hometown team. Dano, I'm going to give you a couple of letters, and I want you to see what they stand for, okay? You ready?
Yep.
All right, one of the M's in Mike McDaniel stands for?
Oh, are you going to insult him? Moron?
Miserable.
Muerto.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Muerto,
so we're
Dan.
playing
He's
Spanish
un
de
muerto.
culpa. I didn't realize you were doing
We
that.
are.
You got okay. Muerto.
We are playing Spanish.
Okay, un muerto.
Muerto.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you know what the C in Chris Greer stands for, Dan?
Come mierda.
Yeah! All right, Dano.
Thought it was gonna be cool.
Chris Greer stands for Come Mierda. Ooh, that's another one.
All right, but you
That's a good one,
trapped
too.
me.
I
I
like
don't
that
want
one.
to call these people. It's calling Chris Greer a shit
I didn't say
eater.
it. Yeah, I didn't say it. You
An
did.
eater
I
of
didn't say it.
shit.
You
You
said it.
trapped me.
He exhibits the behaviors of someone who eats shit.
Yes, that's correct.
Sticking with the shit sandwich here. The M in Miami Dolphins stands for
Mierda.
Mahong.
Mahong, a synonym for mierda.
Just a
Nicely
singular
done.
piece.
Yes, one turd.
Just a singular
Not
piece
even,
of
it's
shit.
not even a pile of it. It's just a single turd. That's right. A Mahone.
Just one
set
singular-
apart from the others, one lonely turd. Yes.
Patrick Mahone.
That was a good one. Gotta
Dude,
go with
Greg's
Kim
on his
Nixon,
game
that one.
today. Unleashed. Dan, What does the T in Tua stand for?
Oh, for the love of God, Tony.
Tremenda mierda.
Tremenda mierda.
Tremenda
Okay,
mierda,
thank you.
Dan. A tremendous turd.
That's right.
A
No,
collection of
it's
tremendous turds,
a
Dano.
collection of tremendous turds is correct.
Exhibits the behavior of a collection of tremendous turds.
All right, these are all important distinctions.
Tremendous.
You're doing important work, Tony. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
He is making the distinctions.
I've got one
between-
last one.
Okay, I thought that was number
good,
one.
another.
I've got one last one. No. That's a continuation. Last one. We'll save it for the boss. One of the E's in Stephen Ross stands for what, Dan?
No say.
You got to think about this one. Think about what he's doing, where he sees his
We'll think
team
about it,
right
Dan.
now. One of the E's in Stephen Ross stands for, you ready?
Yep.
He's encojonado, Dan.
Oh, that's
He's
right.
encojonado. That's what he
That's
is.
right. That is right.
He's encojonado with the team.
That's right. He has lost his...
Encojonado with the team, Dan.
So how do I translate encojonado?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's without...
He is so upset. He's so
he has no
upset that he's
testicles
without
anymore.
balls.
He is,
Yeah,
he's-
his balls fell off from how upset he
De
is.
pinga.
Mangina?
No, well, okay. I didn't think we could descend further than turds, but thank you, Tony,
Sin
for taking
pinga.
us.
I liked that one.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
the awkward
Limpia casa,
dismount.
Dan. We got to get rid of these cucarachas in the house. It's over. Clean house for the Dolphins. The entire thing.
That's right. I don't know why, Greg.
Thank you,
I don't
Chris.
know why your son just shouted "Sing Binga" into the sky, trying to get in on the merriment and the fun. But I did want to talk for a second because I've rambled.
Being
on
told
this.
Tony has one more thing.
Really quick. Dan, tomorrow behind me, Vice City situation at FIU Stadium. The FIU Panthers, Paul's up, are playing Kennesaw State right here, 7 p.m. at Pitbull Field. They may invite me to be on the field here. I don't know. That's what I've been heard from my boy Darren, who's letting me know, giving me a thumbs up. I don't know.
Okay, so thank you. I'm glad we went back
Honorary
to you on
captain.
that. Okay, so
Wow,
yes,
sounds
Honorary
bad.
captain, by the way.
Seems like it was probably contingent on him getting that last line out there. That's what access at Pitbull Stadium costs us.
What gives you
that
that
works.
suspicion, Mike? Was it that how smoothly he threw it just in?
One more thing.
At the end.
What
one
does the
more
F
thing.
and FIU
One more
stand
thing
for,
after,
Tony?
After I've given you encojonado as the last one more thing, I forgot the more important one more thing, which is why I got access to this stadium that I could have built if my air passes a million years ago hadn't violated NCAA practice rules.
The I in FIU stands for I got to get this one in, boys.
Worry with those practice throws, Tony. I don't want you to get hurt out there.
By the way, really quick, there's one more thing.
No.
There's one more thing, really
No.
quick. I promise you. It's
No.
really quick. Look what I discovered back here. Danny, swivel the camera really quick. This goes back to last week when we were talking about this. Here we go. Hold on. Can you guys tell me what that looks like right there? That seems to be a goalpost, right? That looks to be a goalpost right here. And where the kid was Uncle come in.
Right.
That was such a still
All
shot.
right, so wait, so heavy?
Oh, wow, look at
you're
that,
saying-
boys.
Okay, so it's
Look
not
at the
that heavy.
4,000-pound
Look at that.
field goal post.
Look at that.
Weight distribution. You
what do
boys
you want
just
me to do here?
learned.
Look at that. Tony Colladiud
What do you want
finds
me to do
out.
here?
Tony Colladiud finds out a new podcast where
You want me to pick them both up?
he exposes.
That looks like a dollar store
fraud.
field goal post.
Thank you for doing this, Tony.
Wow.
Good
It was an
work.
asinine conversation last week.
Good work, Tony. We appreciate the help. I don't think.
Thank you,
though-
Dan.
Could the bigger schools have, bigger
Heavier
ones?
ones. Just
FCS goalpost, is that what you're saying?
What are we doing here?
How do you imagine the tryouts are for the bigger school where the kid goes out who throws air passes there? Like, do you realize how far from the very fringes of football Tony was throwing walk-on air passes in a stadium where he couldn't even get footballs?
The big schools do air passes, but you wear full pads, everything, full contact.
He could have built that house, though.
So I want to talk to you, though, guys, about I've rambled a bit on the subject, but the precision of football, right? Because I do get fascinated by the idea that Devontae Adams, who I didn't think was a number one wide receiver, has dedicated his life over the last 15 years to, I will run exactly 14.3 yards on this route. I'm going to practice it, and I'm going to keep practicing. It's not going to be 15.3 yards. It's not going to be 13.3 yards.
on Devontae Adams, you were right at the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't be late with an opinion, Dan.
He was bad.
He had a lot of drops his first season, but the idea that athletes of this caliber would dedicate themselves to staying atop money by being as precise as the Rams demand you must. McVay's ahead of the game, got to stay ahead of the game. Tua can get stripped down to nothing that fast. McDaniel, too. He was first to, I'm the next Belichick. I can have any broadcasting job. I'm smarter than everyone else. I'll do it if I've got Whitworth. I'll do it if I've got Gurley. I'll do it if I've got Goff. I'll do it if I've got Stafford. I'll do it if I have no wide receivers yesterday. And I'm going to London and playing at 6 a.m. for my fans. And I'm going to drag Jacksonville, that has all the number one picks, in their offense. Because I'm a better organization, because I'm the Rams, and I will be feared by everyone in the playoffs, because the military school we run on numbers and precision, just get Puka's hands open. It doesn't have to be the rest of him, just where his hands are. You can't be sloppy against that. You can't. When Brian Flores is working his way back into the league because a discrimination lawsuit is laughed at as everything he told you about the organization comes unraveling, and he's devising, how do I stop that play that Jason Kelsey is arguing for as that team wins 20 of 21 because there's a play that can't be stopped? No, Flores, let me see if I can figure out how to stop it. These are military schools. There are giant economies that are studying all day and night to how do we beat the Eagles, and you fall behind like that. The precision of the Rams is a tribute to excellence. And Stafford, I will add, because Stafford survived everything that the Lions were organizationally, got out, and I'm telling you, if he plays them in the playoffs, he's going to beat them, and I'm telling you that if he played for that team right now, he's the one who could go get Mahomes, because they figured out at the top of the game that if you're healthy and precise, Drew Brees was trying to beat them. They've got a precision that is so crazy that Jacksonville, with Travis Hunter out there, they're just slinging it. So Devontae Adams has never had that kind of game, and Stafford hasn't either, and they've got no wide receivers.
Remember before the season started, we weren't sure. Like, it felt like Stafford wasn't going to play this year. That wasn't that long ago.
He's the fourth best quarterback in the league, right? After Allen, Mahomes, and a healthy Jackson.
I want to talk, though. I want to get back to talking about the idea, though, of when we're doing this stuff that we're watching happen with Belichick, where you see how quickly someone can get stripped of genius. McVay cut bait on Goff so fast. Nobody cuts bait that quickly on, like, nope, let's go get Stafford. We were just a Super Bowl team. People hold on to their jobs. They're afraid. But if you're in your early 30s and you're actually smarter than everyone else, you're not pretending all the time, and you get the right quarterback with which all you have to do is, yep, Matt, I'll support you everywhere. Just keep being that precise, please. Meet me at precision. Keep throwing the ball there and there and there every time. No-look passes. Mahomes did that yesterday. You saw Mahomes did the no-look pass because he's feeling comfortable again. And Rice is pointing to him like this. The miles that these men run in feet that get Deion Sanders' amputated toes, like in precision of, no, we'll do it 14.3 yards. 14.3 yards.
It's all right, Dan. That's a little too much. Invoking Deion Sanders' toes. And if you say they just need Puka's hands open for a fourth time this show, we're stopping you.
Penalty box.
I probably deserve it. I just can't believe that there's a machine that's more precise than all the others in that game. Like we marvel and value all this stuff, and then Baker Mayfield gets out there and we can't explain how it is that he got to 35 points when none of his receivers are there. Compare it to what we just happened in Miami, which was a Ferrari with a spark plug that went wrong. Like a fragile thing that if a leg breaks, you're done. You're finished.
Historically so.
Yeah, but accuracy was supposed to be to his strength, and it is. He has going into yesterday, he had the best red zone passer rating in the league. His completion percentage was like second best in the league. So accuracy, you mentioned precision. Accuracy is supposed to be his forte. So theoretically, Mike McDaniels agrees with McVay. He just can't pull it off like McVay does.
Yeah, but it's not just the accuracy with two of these days anymore. Like I know Xavier Howard said this after week number 1, but it really does appear if the first option in the first second of the ball being snapped is not there, it is panic time.
I agree with that. And plus, his lack of a running option is just extreme to the point where he's one-dimensional in a way that hardly any other quarterbacks are.
Doesn't even make sense to me when you're talking about that was number 1 in the league in passing. Like the second option and third option were there because he was getting rid of the ball faster than everyone else was, faster than Tom Brady ever did. Before we go any further, I've got a couple of things that I'm remiss on. One, I have failed today. That it is a couple of hours into the show, and I've not mentioned that in a baseball game, unlike anyone I have ever witnessed, and whoever it is that saw Babe Ruth play does not have the story to tell that we do if we're not numb to these things. The idea that Shohei Otani hit 3 home runs in a playoff game to clinch a World Series berth, one of them out of the stadium, and also struck out 10 men throwing a ball 100 miles an hour, makes him an extraterrestrial that has never existed on Earth before, and that game is the single best playoff game a player has ever played, Babe Ruth included. Like, there's no getting around. We saw that by leaps and bounds, the most amazing athletic feat of the weekend was Shohei Otani, and there is no close second place.
There will never be a close second. Only 12 hitters ever had hit 3 homers in a postseason game. Only 26 pitchers ever had recorded 10 strikeouts and 2 hits or less and no runs in a postseason start. He did both. That's per just
I mean,
baseball.
he's the only pitcher they're letting hit nowadays, though. So how's anyone else supposed to do it?
It is superhero athleticism. It is stuff you will tell people about 100 years from now, and they will not believe it existed.
Timeout. Chris, what did you just say?
What in the world?
What other pitchers are hitting in today's baseball?
That's why, because they're not allowed to. Oh, man, if Max Scherzer's like, if you put me at plate, man, I'll take the 1 yard. That's what you're saying?
I'm just saying, one pitcher is currently hitting these days. They should let more pitchers
Did you
hit.
hear the numbers I just said?
You're not wrong.
What are we doing?
I mean, I'm not saying any other pitcher would be Otani, but half of the major league pitchers hit 488 in high school, right? Like
keep talking.
Like pitchers in high school were probably the best hitter on their team as well.
Who's the pitcher?
Wait, Jeremy, what'd you hit?
Who's the pitcher that's being held back right now? Who could be hitting?
Okay, you guys need to stop doing this because you're really minimizing the level of expertise that it's taking present day to hit a baseball. Like, pitchers can no longer do that.
No, Otani is a unicorn. And look, by some metrics, he's having a bad postseason in that he's hitting like 208 or something. But he's got 5 home runs and 2 pitching victories. There's been nobody like him.
There's got to
since
be a
Babe Ruth.
pitcher right now that's like, let me get some ABs, coach. I could help.
12 hitters ever with 3 homers in a postseason game. 12 hitters that were just hitters have ever hit 3 home runs in a postseason
One of
game.
them went out of the stadium. I have not seen that there before.
They're still
haven't
looking for it.
I don't. Maybe that happens all the time now that he plays there.
No, they put a marker out in right field for Kyle Schwarber's homer in an earlier round this postseason because nobody hits the ball that far, and he hit it like 30 feet further as he struck out 10 guys in a game.
It is absurd beyond absurd, and that you guys would make it a conversation of I want to see Chris Hammond hit more.
What a pull! I swear I was gonna say Mike Hampton.
He won bad.
I also had Chris Hammond in my holster.
He won bad.
Mike Hampton
he
right
was
now
bad.
is sitting somewhere saying, "Hey, give me 600 bats."
Yep, damn right.
He could hit.
I can't believe you just pulled Chris Hammond.
Yeah.
You're
Not
looking at
bad.
my brain.
Yeah, pinch hitter in the World Series.
Oh. You don't think there's any pitchers? I know. I'm obviously Otani's great. There's got to be some pitchers out there like, Coach, let me get an AB.
But this is the part. This is the only part. I understand that this is the part that frustrates me. I would say just in general, wherever it is, that language barrier and baseball and foreignness makes someone not the star they should be, because in the sport of Mike Trout, somebody who hits and pitches what he just did is so Ruthian, so super heroic. The people who appreciate baseball understand that no other human being who has ever lived has that collection of talents in his body. It's the kind of game he just had. If we sent a major leaguer to play against 6th graders, where he'll hit 3 home runs, and one of them will be further than any of the 6th graders have ever seen. He's playing against all other major leaguers. They can't hit him at 100 miles an hour, and he hits the ball further than I've ever seen it hit.
And he only started pitching again in the middle of this season.
Yeah.
He had not pitched in over a year.
Dan, I kind of need CSI Baseball to take a look at the Anaheim Angels or Los Angeles Angels or California Angels or whatever Angels they were. Like, you guys had Trout and Shohei at the same time, and you were horseshit? And Pujols. How did that happen? How is that possible?
And Rendon, they paid $250
That's
million for him too, and then they had no pitching, is how it happened.
I think you could put every major league pitcher in a high school game right now against one of
Keep talking.
the better high school pitchers, and not one of them would have the game Shohei Otani just did in the MLB postseason.
It's lunacy. It's total. What that man just did, what I was beginning to say is, I wish the American media knew how to cover this person in a way that would grant him the stardom that would make him a bigger thing beyond over the line. That this is no problem in Japan, obviously, right? They recognize the history of the game. Hell, the game grew as the cultures shared it, and what has been birthed is the single greatest baseball player that has ever existed, someone who would make Babe Ruth pale in his shadow. And the playoff game he just had is something they will talk about 100 years from now.
How much is he making this year?
$2 million.
That is hilarious.
A good value.
That's crazy. But there is one measure by which Babe Ruth continues to be the most talented player ever, and let me give it to you. And this is you think I'm setting this up for a joke. I'm not. This is the truth. Early in the 20th century, baseball players used to work during the offseason to make extra income. Babe Ruth worked during the offseason singing on a vaudeville stage. So I want to see Otani do that. Okay?
He's got you there, Dan.
Gotcha.
Can we look that up, see if it's factual? How much Babe Ruth earned singing in a vaudeville show in the offseason to make extra coin?
A lot of players did it because they were trading on their name. They were celebrities, so people would go to the vaudeville.
They would be shows. They'd be shows, and there's the great Babe Ruth in the before television, cable, or the internet.
That's correct.
Influencers of their day. It's kind of like how every athlete has a podcast now.
The 1920s.
Yeah.
Yes, Babe Ruth did sing in vaudeville during tours in the 1920s. He performed a variety of acts that included singing, telling jokes, and even trying his hand at mind reading. These performances were part of his postseason tours and were popular attractions due to his celebrity status.
Being Babe Ruth, booyah, was not allowed back then.
Yeah, that would have had you sat in a different section.
Booyah!
I don't know why you would then do it.
I don't even know what that means. I got to think.
Do it again.
That's a 3 facts, Jack, from the Greg Cote Show, by the way. That fact on Babe Ruth. I'm there for you. People, I'm there for you.
The other thing that I'm remorseful about today is that I have not gotten to Zaslow's travel story that Mike Ryan embargoed from me earlier in the show. What are you saying, about?
I want to hear it.
You don't know anything about it.
No.
2 people know about this story, and Mike Ryan embargoed the story. I've never had such trouble getting a story. I wanted it. Neither one of them would give it to me. What happened?
All right, Dan. Well, you know how I travel with ESPN, college football campus. Or this weekend I was in South Bend, all right? Notre Dame, USC, fun game. You know how they treat me with the travel. They treat me very well. Matter of fact, sometimes first class available, like when I flew home yesterday. I sat first class. They treat me very well, ESPN, on my travel. But I book my travel, okay? I book it through a system. It's on me. Obviously, they pay for it. I have a certain status, blah, blah, blah. So I'm flying to South Bend on Friday morning, but I have to stop through Chicago, through O'Hare Airport. Okay, fine, I've done that.
Stop.
Okay, I've done. You can't fly straight to South Bend.
South Bend is tough from Miami.
They have one terminal.
not
There's
a lot
like
of-
6 gates. It's really small.
It's going to take a couple of
Do they
flights.
still call it international airport,
They
which
do.
is my biggest
They
pet
do,
peeve in the world?
because they apparently have one flight that it probably flies to the Caribbean, so they get to call themselves an international airport. Anyway,
It's a ridiculous place to put a football stadium.
I'm flying to South Bend through Chicago. And when I get to Chicago, I have a very short layover. I'm walking over to my gate. Okay, no big deal. I get to the gate. I sit down. I see on the board there it says South Bend. And it says the time of the next flight is 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I'm confused as hell. I'm trying. 2 hours and 45. That's how long it took me to get here from Miami. 2 hours. I take out my phone. I open up a map of the United States on my phone. Illinois and Indiana are right next to each other. How can it be 2 hours and 45 minutes? I send Amber Wilson a text message. Amber, I'm sitting here at my gate. It says 2 hours and 45 minutes. Is that possible? She says, are you sure you're flying to South Bend? I go, I think so. She goes, it's not possible. I go, right? I'm really confused. It gets to the point where they're calling the boarding groups. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. American Airlines I'm flying. They get to my group. I'm one of the first people to board. Got good status, Greg. I get up. I show my boarding pass on the American Airlines app. They scan it. You're good to go, sir. So I'm walking, and it's one of those deals where you got to go outside, because it's a really small airplane.
Yeah,
You know,
commuter jet.
I saw the seating map. It's, 2 seats on one side,
One on the other.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
I'm in
small
one of the
plane.
ones.
Yeah.
Got a lot of room, all right? Small plane. I'm walking through the terminal gate now. I take the steps downstairs. There's a bus waiting for me.
No,
It's a bus.
Is it taking you to the plane?
The bus on the side of the bus, on the side of the bus, it says American Airlines. I'm like, okay, cool, shuttle bus taking me to my plane. Be like a minute, no big deal. I get on the bus. I sit in the first seat. It's gonna be a quick flight, quick ride, 30 seconds. I sit in the first. I don't even take my backpack off. I sit in the first seat, immediately behind the driver. People are starting to get on. They're looking at their phones. They're sitting in assigned seats. Why the fuck are you sitting in an assigned seat on this bus right now? And all of a sudden, this woman is standing next to me. She's confused. I'm apparently in her seat. I'm looking around at all these people.
She got that good bus seat.
I say to the bus driver, are we taking this bus to South Bend? She goes, yes. I go,
now it makes sense.
Okay, I'm in the wrong seat. And I get up and I go, I'm in 4C. I get up and I sit down. I'm so confused. And then moments later, the bus driver, by the way, if you were wondering if there's going to be, drink and snack service, there's not. But the bus driver, she gets on the PA.
Yeah.
She gets on the PA and she says, just so everybody knows, this bus is heading to South Bend. Some people might be confused.
Oh.
I'm sitting on this bus. I can't believe
You thought it was 2 airplanes, 2 little airplanes. You were
2
flying.
hours and 45 minutes.
You had no idea the second leg of this first-class flight was a bus. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Can the second leg of your first-class flight ever be a bus?
This woman then gets on. We haven't gotten off the we haven't pulled out yet to leave. She goes, we're waiting for the go-ahead to pull out from the air tower. I'm like, woman, air tower? We're on a bus. Air tower?
I mean, you're a seasoned travel veteran. Has anything like this happened to you?
Have I ever taken an American Airlines bus
why would
somewhere?
anyone
No.
book a bus through American Airlines?
Why would the bus say American Airlines on it? You're not an airline. You're a bus.
And it was just a normal terminal, like one of the gates?
Completely normal.
How full was this flight?
Oh, the bus was full.
Was it a cheap flight? Did you think, wow, this is a cheap flight?
I don't know. I don't pay for it. ESPN does. I have no idea.
Look at
Why would I assume that when I'm booking my air travel through American Airlines
Right.
that it might be a bus?
Was there any turbulence on the drive?
South Bend is about a 3-hour drive from Chicago Airport, right? So you couldn't just take another small flight anywhere closer to
The
that.
funniest thing was when Zaz started the story, I was going to say, you flew to South Bend? Why didn't you just fly to Chicago and drive from there?
I thought there was a different Chicago in another state. That's where I thought we were going.
I text Amber Wilson. I said, you're not going to effing believe this. And then I just wrote, I want to go home.